Yeah.
You just usually go in bed at that time.
No, we're going live.
We are. We're live now. We're live now.
Are we
Are we
really?
live now?
We are live.
Yeah, it just said
You
we're
should
live.
teach at our abracadabra. Yep. It's come.
Yay!
Hi.
Yay! We are live on YouTube. This is number 15. Wow.
Terry's catching flies. What a shot when you get jammed on. Look. Right.
Hello.
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 Made it. Well,
We've made it. We've actually got internet. Okay. Are we all okay?
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Welcome to number 15 then.
Yeah. Isn't it?
Okay.
50.
You're at
Number
15. Who'd have thought it? Is there
Here we
anybody
go
wants,
again.
before we start the clock, does anybody want to say anything or anything?
Don't think so.
Just hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope we all understand this, right? I hope I get it.
I hope I get
100
it.
questions.
Right, if we do the clock first, then we can get that out of the way, because we didn't do it last week, but
We should have done.
Right.
we should have done. But here again, when we was talking about it, it was our life, how we got to the clock.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was a talk up to the clock, wasn't
It
it?
was a talk up to the clock about how it come to us and everything, you know, and how it's, well, it's still going now, because we only wrote one letter, didn't we, this week?
No, you
Yeah.
wrote two. You wrote two.
Two.
Oh yes, we did write.
We wrote two, but we wrote one
We
in,
wrote-
in regards to this at schools.
Yeah.
And then in less than 24 hours, we had a Sky broadband
Ban.
ban.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you add our website to your personal list, it says in
Right.
small print. And a lot of people I presume don't read the small print, so they would just assume that the website has been banned.
But the
And
ban,
it's been banned for weapons,
gore,
violence.
hate.
That's it.
There was another one.
That's it. Weapons, gore, violence, and hate.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've got a. So now we wrote another letter.
And there's
Dear
no
Board of
duty of
Directors
proof.
of Sky.
There's no duty of proof on their part. This is what astounds me when they can
No,
just
no.
go,
They didn't.
fuck it, we're just going to
Yeah,
ban
they,
you.
did, they didn't
There's no proof.
contact
Same
us
as Facebook. No
prior
proof.
to the ban.
Yeah, yeah.
How many of
Yeah.
you had that come up on
Well,
your?
it just shows where we were, where we're at with the hub.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you drink that water, those Rivitas are going to swell to this size, right? He's been munching away.
Thing is now,
I was in a rush.
I think it's made it more interesting. It's like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, isn't it? Back in the day, you know, it got banned and went to number one for about 16 weeks. So it's probably made us a bit more interesting. So thank you very much, Sky.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I love trying to go to Hollywood.
Yeah.
That was one of my jams. Yeah, and the reflex was that Duran. I think the reflex is Duran.
And also a badge of honour, really. Are we the first one to have a media broadband block on the website? I've not heard of it before.
It's probably loads. Whoever's speaking the truth or any directive.
We wouldn't
that's
have even
out
known
there.
if it had been for somebody to kindly tell us.
It's not like they got in touch and went, "We're not happy with this. Can you deal with it?"
Exactly.
Or anything else. It's just like bang within 24 hours. So we wrote another letter, which you can see on the blog on the website. So we wrote another letter, Dear Board of Directors, here we go again. So but the nice thing about it is when we used to write in that certain way, we used to do it within the banking scam, where now we've actually put that sort of way of writing a letter out to the public so they can learn from it. We never share.
And it's not the kind of spelling or grammar that you get taught at school by all the system and the corporate and the cabal and what have you.
Yeah,
It's not that type of letter. It's a different style.
It's I've won before a start letter, basically. So
Yeah.
you look at their terms and conditions, you look at their code of practice
And their policies. And then see what they've broken.
So then you write to them in that way. And then the laws that they've broken as well by doing so. And then you put that in the letter, then you serve them with a letter. Of course.
So you're using their laws against them.
Yeah. And that's why you use what I would, because I was brought up and did English for a long while at school and that, your English and grammar and everything else and punctuation just don't fit the bill. But that's why it has to be that way, isn't it?
It is.
It is, isn't it? It is. And
it's a different flow.
It's a different flow.
It sort of goes against everything.
Stop.
Yeah.
It's flow.
It's because if you itemize within a letter of your complaint, they will then come in and unpick it and then start wrapping questions back to you.
Yeah.
So what you do is you write it in such a way that they can't unpick it.
You haven't given them that chance.
No, there's no.
They haven't got a chance.
They haven't got a chance.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's either do the right thing, else it gets tighter.
Yeah.
From all directions.
It boggles me head because I've been 72 years, 60 odd years, bloody learning this English and keeping up to it in practice. And I was an avid letter writer for donkey's years. I was an avid letter writer. But it was always properly done. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what you did.
Amen.
Yeah. But I can fully understand where this comes from. I think, you've got to do this to fuck them up. And we have to fuck them up. Some way or another, we have to fuck them up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they set the game, right? They set the game. We didn't come in and set the fucking game.
No.
They changed the fucking
We
wheel.
allowed them to set this bloody game up, obviously, haven't we, in the past, or wherever, or however. But we've allowed it to happen. Do you know what I mean? We had to do it initially, didn't we? Pardon?
They tricked us.
I'm not saying they didn't.
They allow it while they're tricking us.
What they're good at. They're good at trickery. They're ace at trickery.
But all weeny, puny little pieces of shit are always good at trickery, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who's got any balls or any measure comes to you front on and says it front on. But these are all puny little weeny fuckers. They're all hiding behind their little little words.
Ugly fuckers as well, usually.
Oh my God!
Ugly horrible bastards, aren't they?
Yeah.
I was saying to Amy the other day, he says, "What you know what MP stands for, don't you? Massive prick."
I think
Or multiple prick.
It's about right, isn't it? And you know what happened to them at school, and that's why they like it.
Prick.
But the thing is, when we went for the banks originally, we had all the information of the start of the corruption, of how it was. So I says to you, let's write a letter. So we wrote the letter, dear board of directors. But we went on these sort of like, woman on her own, blah blah. I've got these problems and everything else. Can you please help and blah blah and everything else.
Not giving them all the information.
Not giving them all the information.
Just enough to get their attention.
So of course, they write back saying, "Oh yes, no problem," because they know how corrupt it is. We wrote to Dear Board of Directors, Private and Confidential, Halifax. So of course they wrote back to us, "Oh yeah, we will get so and so, give us a reference number and a headed paper, blah blah blah, and I'll get them to sort it out." So of course we already had the next pack ready to rock and roll with all the information. And I went, "Well, thank you very much for that letter, and now you are obviously in full awareness of the corruption and the illegal mortgages." Bang, like that. So then the next letter you get is no comment, no comment, no comment. Basically, that was the last letter. No comment, no comment, because you caught them already out. So then everywhere you go from that point, you just remind everybody of that original letter, because if they're working for them and they're writing to you, these big top barristers in London, then obviously you're being paid by them and the corruption, so you know about it as well. It's like that, didoosh. So literally, 3 years of doosh, and they can't win.
No.
They cannot win because it's the way that you write the letter in the first place.
And they can't scapegoat it either.
They can't scapegoat it to a lower level. They can't pull anybody out. You've got them right by the old short and curlies, and it just gets tighter and tighter. And all they've got to do is correct it, but they can't. It's almost like they've got a system, and that system's like an energy system as well. And once you sort of punch through it, it just crumbles. And then they're like, well, why has it failed? Basically, why has it failed? So of course,
we even asked, our own solicitor was even asking us if we was in a cult.
I had a skateboard top on with a flash of lightning down it, and he thought it was a cult.
He thought it was a cult sign.
I'm like, no, it's a skateboard top. I can't skateboard to save my life, but I like the t-shirt.
This is a very large code, I gotta tell you. This is a huge code, man. I'm all the way in Ohio, and I had to join, man.
People go. Can we skateboard like no?
Is it just me that can't see Terry?
You can't see me?
She does keep sticking a little bit, don't she?
Ever since she's gone live, I've lost her.
I love Judith's angle. I would never, I have got no guts. I would never put my phone below my chin. I don't see anything.
I have to see
We
it.
need more boxes.
You've got a really nice neck.
There ain't no bloody vanity with me, girl.
Yes.
No point to when you've got this many rings and you don't give a shit, do you?
If I put it down here, you wouldn't see anything.
But the nice thing about it is, it's amazing how many young kids took that letter and have been sharing it amongst themselves.
I know.
For all the teachers.
Nice.
For all the teachers.
And it's actually stopped them all being nervous and worried. And we didn't realise that it was actually having such an effect on kids.
Yeah, massive.
Of course it
We've
is.
got friends who've got kids.
Yeah.
And they've been worried sick about going to school, and it's like, we can't have that.
No.
It's not fair. Kids have enough worry, don't they?
The thing is, you don't
Worry.
know who's coming in, do you? You don't know who this NHS is.
No,
Could be
no,
anybody.
no,
You don't know.
no.
It could be anybody. You don't know who it is. I won't say a thing, but you don't know who it is.
And what we've been told about how teachers are treating kids at school, about the ones that are not having the thingy.
Yeah.
They're literally trying to embarrass them into it, aren't they?
And thank you, Chico.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chico. Much love.
Yeah, he did it.
I asked him if he could help share the letter, and he didn't just share the letter, he did a lovely video as well, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
It did.
Oh, I have to see. I didn't get to see that.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
Yeah. Have you children, Jack?
No, not yet. No.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, a bit of a weird time for that, isn't it?
Nosy.
Yeah. But yeah, so but the funny thing is, we've got a ban, so thingy, but our website, we keep getting congratulations on our traffic that's going through the website.
Yeah, so people are definitely having a look and hopefully sharing.
Every day we got and they send us a little for how many people we got going through the website. So that's good. And it was like, wee! Isn't it?
Yeah.
How cool is that, eh?
So they're happy. Yeah, they're over the moon.
Yeah.
Aren't they? But yeah, so the letter, so obviously that letter hit home, and also, like I said before, because of the banking thing, we're blacklisted from working for big companies that won't touch us. You know what I mean? Because obviously, it's obviously on your.
They just weren't employers.
They weren't employees at all. So
that's been since 2005.
2005, that is. I think Hallett, he's got the same thing, isn't he? There's quite a few other people the same thing.
Gregory Hallett, who did that King thing, he's had the same.
He's had the same.
And who else? Something else.
Yeah,
But he went on and on, didn't
what's
he?
his
He
name?
kind of
What his
like
name is
really
now?
like the hole and jumped in head first. Gregory Hallett.
Yeah.
What did he think was going to fucking happen? It's really quite a big, unconfirmed.
I think,
don't know, wasn't it? Didn't he swap with someone? The other person who really was someone of credibility?
I heard that.
I don't think he was actually out for to be king.
No, he didn't want that.
He was just out to make a point that the Queen shouldn't be the Queen.
Also, he spent a lot of time reading different laws out, which
he did. He did.
Which we know about their spells in letters, and maybe that helped overspell their letters.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way.
I think it was more that because it was like story time with Hallett, wasn't it? And he was reading everything out. So maybe all of that, what he was doing, was overwriting the spells within their writings. That's what I think personally. He put a lot of time in. Yeah, he put a lot of time into that, and I know what we know with the bucket letter and everything else, and how it works and how it frees you from things. So, I would say down that road myself. It's like putting yourself in there. Who'd want that for a job? But the reading and the writing is probably overspelled their writing. I would say that's where he is with it.
Yeah,
I mean, he knew his stuff.
He did. I was just going to say, I learned a lot of stuff from him. I did. I didn't know how that he came out with. I didn't.
And that Stone of Destiny that he went looking for in Scotland as well.
Yeah. Always liked time.
Always interested. Whether you believed him or you didn't believe him, he had your interest, didn't he?
But that Stone of Destiny also ties in with the clock, doesn't it?
Also, he had the right sense of humour. You know, all of his lot have all got the same sort of sense of humour. And I swear blind, the universe is put together with a certain sense of humour, and you connect to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you connect with the humour of the human you know what I mean, the universe, and you've either got that humour or you're not. Yeah. And it's a connection. All the miserable fuckers, fucking hell. It's like, isn't it? Oh my God. It's like cheer up, God's sake, isn't it? Yeah. Honestly. But I do believe that. Everybody's got if you got that connection through humour, that humour is massive. And I think the universe is put together with this sort of same humour. And it's a connection I think we've all got.
Yeah,
I agree.
If you're watching somebody and they haven't got that humour, you switch off. It's like that.
Yeah. But humour, I'm just sort of thinking about it now, isn't it? When you unlock humour, it's nearly unlocking like a secret language, like we start emitting a different vibration.
Yeah.
That's
why I like Huna. Yeah. Huna's got a good sense of humour. He's got a mischievous sense of humour. You can see it in his eyes.
And the thing is, with humour, you're thinking what 24D or whatever. You're thinking out of the box. You're thinking of all different things, and then you got pictures of everything. And then somebody says something, and you can just pluck it from the cosmos, can't you? That's why we put Henry's cat back into action. Did you see it on the website? Fucking brilliant.
Yeah, we asked Scott if that's the reason why we've been banned.
We did ask him that. We asked Scott because you've not told us what it is. Is it due to Henry's cat? And then obviously not that, which is brilliant, really, because they won't tell us what it is. It opened the doors to everything. So we asked him, is it Henry's cat? No. Is it this? No. Is it the banking thing we did with Barclays Bank? So anyway, obviously one of the main directors of Scotland.
We was looking at all their codes of practice and conduct and everything online, and
who to write to.
And who to write to, and if there's any emails. And we found one of the top dogs from Barclays Bank. Is also to do with Sky. So I was like, ooh. So anyway, there's a connection.
have a look on. Go to the website, and then you can see the blog. I don't know if you've seen the letter we wrote him. Just reminding them
on the blog, Letters to Sky, it's called.
And in there is our travels with the Henry's cat and Barclays Bank. I thought we might do a new one.
I found another connection on Lost, the TV show. It's Henry's cat. 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 they said they called this one the swan hat. So I looked up what would the swan be, and it took me a bit, but I found a couple of things. One was it was an ancient. They were ancient healers, a male or female. They had different names of what they were, but the other was the green swan, and it had to do with, of all things, the central banking system.
Oh,
I'm like, oh my God.
Another
How
connection.
many freaking, like, how many, every time I find something new to look up from that TV series, I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's there. It's like, if you take it apart and look at everything on it, I don't think they're saying that they're lost as in dead and it's us and we're all lost. And so we need to wake up, that kind of thing. That's what it is. It's the whole, like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, we thought to ourselves, let's have a look in Phase and Fable to see if we can find Barclays.
It means birch tree in a meadow.
Sounds nice.
Birch tree.
Birch tree in a meadow.
Yeah, because the thing is, in 1970 they got kicked out of South Africa because they was funding apartheid.
Yeah,
and Shell. So Shell, but they got kicked out of there.
They're no longer allowed to trade there or something.
Yeah, and then we also traced their banking system goes right back to 1817. So it's one
in
of
this country.
In this country, so they started off in this country, I think, in about 1817, and obviously that's when obviously Britain sort of ruled the world really, and obviously it's spread all over the place. That banking system. So 1817 is one of the original banking systems. So you can see it goes right in there, right back to the beginning. And also, there's a bloke called John Barclay, which obviously must be connected. It must have to do with the family name. And that was also, what was it called? They used to fund or help fund trading all over the world through Europe and everywhere, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
one of the first. It sounded a lot like almost like
Templars.
a Freemason.
Yeah, very much like
society,
very much like Templars. It was free trading within that group of people. And
but it was like quite a few European countries. I can't remember the name.
Germany was a big one, I think.
Yeah,
Germany was a big one.
Yeah, and Russia, and there's a few different countries that all were part of this. It was almost like a trade group, wasn't it?
The thing is, they don't want to.
They all had perks of being in the group and protection and
protection.
It sounded very much like Freemasons
or Templars, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
And usually when people get busted for something like that, usually they change the name, don't they?
Yeah.
And they don't. And they globally they didn't want to change the name, so that name obviously
must mean something. It
must mean something quite a lot of energy in it, a lot of bad energy in it, but a lot of bad juju in it. Yeah. So
so it's another thing to put in a safe place.
Safe place. Put it in there. Nice.
Isn't it funny? Sorry.
We must do the top bit.
Barclays, right? So I took all the letters from Barclays out of Abracadabra, and the letters that are left are LYS, lies. LYS. Every other letter is Abracadabra.
That was good.
See, and lays as well. Lays at the end of it also means energy lines.
Ley
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about them being everywhere and different.
It'd be interesting to know where these Barclays banks are and that. I bet they.
Yes.
I bet they're on ley lines. I bet they are.
Yeah, definitely.
They were. Yeah.
Wouldn't
surprise me.
The original one in South Africa, their bank, I'm sure, when we looked at it a long time ago, their bank sits on the border between poverty and wealth. So it's symbolic.
Yeah.
It used to sit right on the border between poverty and their wealth. And it sat right on the border, didn't it? Yeah. But you see, the Barclays thing, they overrode every other bank that we dealt with on the banking scam. It was a Barclays check that paid your mortgage off when they took it off the system. It was a Barclays check that paid the equity once we got it off there.
Once we threatened them with court again.
And also, it was the Barclays bank that you was in that did the switcheroo and they was taking it out. They was taking cash out of
making it look like it was a direct debit.
Making it look like it was a direct debit on an ATM at 1302. So 1302 must be another one of their sacred numbers as well. It must be, because why do it at 1302?
Yeah.
So the way we clocked it was there was a 1302 all the time. I said, how the hell do you get an ATM 1302 every day or every 2 days? So when we added up all the 1302s, it works out all of your standing orders for that month. And that's how they got the money out in cash.
Oh, sneaky bastard.
So it wasn't actually a direct, it wasn't actually, obviously it wasn't a legitimate direct debit anyway, but that's how they got around it.
And then after that, you didn't have anything to do with the bank or anything else. But because they had a secret PO box number that didn't even exist anywhere on the system, because we checked. So there was using the postal system and a secret PO box. That's how they did it all. But Barclays Bank, if you went into Barclays Bank, they knew who you were. Yeah, so it's on their system, but like a split system, off the box system.
Yeah.
And it's dead easy how they used to do it. Basically, what it is, they go in because they do the conveyancing on your mortgage. Yeah, so they go in, they portray themselves as they're working on your behalf, making it look like you're coming to a bit of money. Yeah, they write a Barclays check out for say 50 or 60,000, pay your mortgage off.
They paid my original mortgage off with Cheltenham and Gloucester.
But bearing in mind, don't forget, she had a mortgage with Halifax Intelligent Finance. So how that works, I've got no idea. We all know. Yeah. So then what they do is they do it. They're simple. They pay your mortgage off with a Barclays check. Yeah. Even though the mortgage is with Halifax Intelligent Finance. And
there was no comment on Cheltenham and Gloucester's paperwork about it being transferred over as a remortgage
or anything.
It just looked like the mortgage had been paid in full by me and my solicitor.
And that's why then she didn't know at the time. They sent her all the deeds to her.
They sent me a big pack of paperwork, and I didn't.
She didn't know what it was, but it was the deeds. So she had the deeds for her house. So basically, you've got the deeds for the house because yeah. And then what they do is,
I didn't know that's what they were though.
Well, I didn't know. And then what they do is they set up all the illegal paperwork with literally everybody, your insurance companies and everybody else, and then they say, "Oh, you're gonna have to say £700 a month. You got to pay out," and then that comes out your bank, but they do it with an ATM, take the cash out. Yeah, as far as you're looking,
no paper trail.
No paper trail, because your mortgage now is off the books. And then they just siphon out the money and it's gone. So that's basically how they do it. And the thing is, you're not thing is, you're not special as in like, oh, let's do it because it's you. They're quite blatant with it, so they must be doing it to thousands of people. Thousands of people.
More than that. I mean, because if you count what's going on over here in America and how many people are going through the same
really, I was the perfect victim because I didn't have a clue about mortgages and any of it really. I just
that's what they know. They know.
The thing is,
take desperate.
They take the desperate. And they play on that.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's not like you went to a dodgy loan shark using a Halifax housing estate agent, and they sent one of their blokes around to set the mortgage up.
Yeah.
And
he sorts it all out, the legal, everything. Which you think is all above board at the time. You think it's all Halifax.
Why wouldn't you?
But it's not.
I mean, it's not.
Well, yeah,
Barclays all the way. And then obviously with this guy, obviously they're always watching what we're doing, obviously. Because obviously we was followed by, I don't know, 10 or 15 undercover when we left the courts. And then they followed us everywhere. And it's really funny actually, because they actually look like 1960s, 1970s, like Men in Black, you know.
They look like they've all got the dad's suits on.
Yeah, they look like the old FBI from the 70s. And I'm like,
wow.
Try and be a bit more low profile.
Yeah.
They stood out like a sore thumb
So
in the middle of the
letter. When you saw them, you were like, whoa, you're really
when we left the courts.
Yeah. You want to change your outfits. You're all looking the same.
Honestly,
you need to ring each other and like you know, who's wearing what colour today? All brown.
Let's put it like this: if we'd have ran away, they'd have never caught us. Let's put it like that. If we'd have ran off, they'd be like, "Ah, I can't with them."
Ridiculous. Makes you wonder how they can even put one over.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you know what I mean? It's like, it sounds really far-fetched. It does sound, we said before, you know, we spoke about it before, and it does sound far-fetched, and it sounds like, oh, yeah. But like, it's nice now we can talk about a story, because people go, do you know what? Yeah, but back in 2004, 2005, people just looked at you like, banks are pure.
Banks wouldn't do that.
Oh, no, they wouldn't do a thing like that.
Yeah.
No, of course they wouldn't do a thing like that.
You've got to be wrong. You must be wrong.
Yeah, right. No.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
So many people would say,
yeah,
you must be getting it all wrong. You know, banks wouldn't do that.
The thing is, though, in 2002,
of course wouldn't do that.
Everybody thought there was Snow White, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously,
this was before the big run on. What was it? The Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
Rock.
All the same people. All the same.
Yeah.
But then obviously with our ban within less than 24 hours, it was like, wow. And then obviously the top dog is Barclays. Wow.
That just goes to show that they've read that letter, that school letter, has gone straight to the top.
Straight to the top. Like, fuck the back again. Yeah. So you can have a look on the blog. We wrote
one of them bloody letters.
But it was beautiful for us because it opened the doors to mention Barclays again. It opened the door, didn't anything else, and all the corruptness. So it worked out beautiful for us because it was another way in.
Yeah.
And then obviously we had a laptop with all the paperwork on the laptop, and then that was corrupted. We spoke about it last time. They used shredding machine. Data shredder. They used that on it, so that was done 7 years before you could buy it, or it existed in mainstream, and it was shredded. So there was obviously worried about what was on our laptop at the time, so that was all shredded and mashed up. But you said the other day, oh my god, it's obvious because they've still got a paper trail for all the bank checks that are all through the bank. So if we request transfers of the equity when we got that Barclays, and then obviously the payoff of the Cheltenham and Gloucester, we give them the rough sort of dates, and then they have to have that on their system. But I bet they'll go, oh no, sorry, our system. Yeah. So it's still a paper trail through the Barclays.
We use a check for paper trail. We pay it every month.
Because at the end of the day, Barclays gave us the equity in the form of a check.
Yeah.
And that is a paper trail.
Bearing in mind,
Barclays shouldn't have had anything to do with the equity because it was supposedly Halifax.
Halifax were repossessing your house because you couldn't pay it because it was like because we caught them out. So Halifax was taking us to court, but we got the Barclays paid the equity back to us. Eventually.
It's representation.
Yeah.
Misrepresentation.
Yeah. So of course, with the Sky thing, here we go again.
Yep.
Yeah. But there's no point trying to take these puppies to court. We did that. And then they rushed us into court at 9:45 in the morning.
Out of court's time.
Out of court's time, so it didn't exist.
It didn't make it legal. There was no paper trail.
Clever, because obviously, because you called the judge an ignorant sod.
I called the judge an ignorant sod to see if he'd bang me up, and he carried on running.
It was like going.
Where are you going, you ignorant sod?
He was going contempt of court. I'll bang you in the cells. He goes, what? 9:45 in the morning? I don't think so much.
We knew all the security anyway. Because I'd spent the previous week every day going in there with more and more evidence, and I got chatting to security, and they were all lovely.
Yeah, they were, weren't they? Yeah. So there you go. That's been our week. Has anybody else anything happened this week?
No.
Yeah, it's been quite full on.
Does been. Does been.
It has. It has been full on. It has been full on.
Yeah.
But there you go, isn't it?
How do you suggest we can give out those letters to the children who want them or people who want them?
Well, the thing is, we've got
copy and paste it on a piece of paper, and serve it to the teachers. Serve it to all the teachers, all the heads. Make them fully aware that they are liable while that child is on school premises.
Yeah.
They are liable for that child's health while that child is on school premises. They cannot get out of that.
So we was working on minimum amount of paperwork that we could get as well. We usually work on heady paper we've already got, so it's like working with minimum sort of receipts what they've done. But the biggest thing what they did do wrong, well, anybody that has a jab, they have to be aware of the ingredients if you're allergic to it, and then they always have to be aware of side effects thingy beforehand. It's like a disclaimer that you know and everything else.
It's a legal requirement.
Yeah.
And schools have not been handing that out.
It's just a yes or no. So how can the parents monitor?
All they've done is send out forms saying yes or no. And we know for a fact that it doesn't even matter if you've put down no, that the school can still talk the child into having the vaccine and allowing that to happen. And that shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case.
No.
So you've got to make the teachers aware that they are fully liable for that child's health for forever after the vaccines, because side effects can happen anytime.
That's what we said in that letter. You're reliable. You're responsible. You're responsible for forever, because every one of us.
It's happening on school premises.
No matter what you do for a job, every one of us has got a duty of care for each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We should take care of one another.
That's just normal sort of like common law or whatever. We've all got a duty of care to look after each other and everything else. No matter what you're getting paid or pensions or anything else, you have a sole duty of care towards another human being. Yeah. No matter who's told you what, and if you can't make your mind up because you want to have a pension, and keep your job, then your moral compass is way out, completely. It's disgusting, isn't it?
It is disgusting.
It is.
Because nobody knows what's going to happen.
They do, though. That's the whole thing. That's what's been coming. They've been looking at this and looking at what do they call it, thrombotic blood, where it's already in the state of thrombosis. It's all sticky. And little creepy crawlies that are in there. And what was it, Dr. Not Tenpenny, I'll think of a name in a minute. She was just talking about one that they watch something assemble itself. They're looking at it through, and this little things, it's like a fucking ball starting to assemble. It's like little nano blocks, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you were saying that with nanobots, like you assemble itself. What?
I remember
Dr. Northrop.
I remember.
Northrop. I've heard that name.
Well, I remember as a child watching a science program, and they were predicting what would happen in the future, and that was one of the things they said. In the future, there'll be nanobots that will be in your bloodstream and take things to where they need to go and administer medicine. And I know, as a child, I thought that was pretty cool, but
I know.
They did.
I suppose if it's done right, it probably would be.
Well,
I don't know. But don't mess around with nature. They tried that with food, didn't they? GM food. Look what happened with that.
But Jack, I agree with you. It seemed really great at the time. Until you grow up and you realise that there's nefarious bastards out there that all they want to do is just control us because we're so powerful and fabulous. So all of this interference, trying to make the interference look normal. And it's like, really? Come on. Okay, have it if you want
it. At the end
of
the day, if the powers that be really honestly cared about us, they wouldn't put all those nasty chemicals in our food, our drink, our toiletries. They wouldn't do that. So, and because they do, you can just tell they don't give a toss about people's health.
No, of course they don't. They've never yet. Right from day one of this.
Sorry. How many lawyer commercials are there? So how many lawyer commercials are there because of all the drugs they've given us? People can sue here in America. I don't know about over there in England or whatever, but same thing. They're just screwing us with all the food or air, our water. They're polluting our water, but they don't give we'll give you a free. Just make you better, so you won't get sick. We don't believe that crap one bit.
No.
It's all smiling like, we know your shit. And we're telling everybody.
What I was saying the other week, we're all about the same age group. They're fighting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all in that same age group because we know what's been lost. Yeah? We know what's changed. We know this. We can see the losses. We can see this from when we was growing up to where we are now. It's only in a short time. It's only what 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
It's a massive shift. Isn't it?
It's crazy.
Massive. And we're the only ones that can see it. And if we don't say our bit now, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, how will the young kids in the future know what they've lost if we don't?
And also too, it's about leading by example as well, because of that, like I said before about the apathy and people, backing down. Young people, kids, young adults need to see people standing up, but doing it in a way that's not like Braveheart, like fuck no. But we're doing it in a way where
I don't know, quite like the war paint, the blue lines.
We're doing it in collectives. We're doing it in ways that we're not going to fight the system, but we're going to understand the system, and we're just going to peck all the way around it until we find the way in. And this is what we're teaching. So we're leading by example as well as cracking into the fucking problem right now. Do you know? So people need people like us. We're not mavericks. We're not fucking warriors. We're just like regular people. I'm just regular Cheryl sitting on her bed Sunday morning who just knows I'm not going to fucking put up with this shit. And I don't think anyone should have to put up with this shit. So I'm never going to shut up. I'm never going to give up, and I'm never going to back down. Fucking ever.
Yeah.
No. You're right.
But it's
why should we?
Something's changed now because I've got my choice, and I know that I wouldn't, let anyone come near me who is like that. And then other people have their choice. But when with the children, it's changed now for me. So I'm grateful for that letter, because that seems like something quite legit. But yeah, it's the game's changed now.
And what's so good, Jack, is people like you who said something really powerful just then. I knew this and that, but it's a whole different ballgame when it comes to the kids, and that's changed how you look at things now. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't take a revolutionary act. It doesn't take someone dying in front of you. It just takes your common sense going, wait a minute, I need to choose a side here, and I need to get on the side that's going to help me. We're all like on the side of humanity and children and protection, and it's getting very, very, there's a lot of people on that side now, but also people need to realize, like I said, Jack, that it's small things that we pivot on, and then the power of what we've decided to do then unfolds, right? It's not big to start off with. It's just that incremental, it's small, but people then just realize, like, wait a minute. And like you, again, where, Jack, you said, like, the letter made such a huge difference. So for Juicy and Lucy to be putting together something like that is so powerful, yet fairly benign. You don't have to yell at anyone. You don't have to go toe to toe. You just simply send something with so much power. It's like the power of the pen.
You don't have to say anything.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it'd be
understanding right, because they've always, think about this, the dark side has always stuck. There's certain rules that they just will not bend. There's certain parameters that they won't, you know what I mean? Even in their evilness, there are certain rules that they stick with. You just got to look at everything that's been going on. And if you dive down a few rabbit holes, you'll realize that they have this code and they stick with it. And so as people like you, Juicy and Lucy, start pulling bits and pieces and information forward, you start arming people with the ability to peck in without needing a sword, without needing to shed blood, without needing violence, because a lot of people just don't want that. They just don't want that. But they want to make a difference.
And we know it works. We know it works. We
They really didn't know what to do with us.
They didn't know what to do, who we were, or anything.
If we'd have actually kept our gob shut, we'd still be in that house now.
Yeah, if we'd have kept a gob shut, we'd have kept the house because they ran away from it. But obviously, we didn't stop there. We just kept on going and going and going and going and going. You know what I mean? Like an annoying wasp that never dies. Like, no. It's like, you know what I mean? We even barred from the land registry. They wouldn't let us in.
They actually wouldn't let us in the building. So
that says a lot. I mean, we went into the land registry with using their laws against them. With here we go, right?
Deeds.
There's the deeds. So I own the property by law.
We had a lovely letter from Halifax stating they don't know who I am at the property of the mortgage.
And we also had the paperwork to prove that the mortgage had been paid off in full, and everything else.
Yeah.
So it says we'd like the Halifax stroke intelligent finance taking off the deeds at the land registry, because if we've got the deeds, we own the property. That's law. So you don't get them unless you paid your mortgage off. And they said, we can't do that. So I mean, you can't do that. He said, we can't do it. I said, you can. By law, you have to take them off. That name doesn't exist.
Their excuse was they have to get the say-so from Halifax. And I was like, well, Halifax don't know who I am.
Don't know who I am. And it was paid with a Barclays check. So in the end, they won't let us in. They won't let us in. They kept us out. They kept us out of the land registry. We'd walk in the reception. You'd see them, it was a glass building. You see them scurry around, and then they come down and go, no, you're not coming in. And kick us out. So once you start getting into the land registry, which is owned by the Queen and everything else, yeah, you can see the tap you've got there of the top right on that level. Yeah, they was all involved as well, because they didn't want to do anything about the problem. It's because they were involved with it. So you can see right at that land registry, which goes into the Queen, the whole thing, the whole shooting match, yeah, all involved, the whole lot. Of course, it's like, wow. But this was in 2004 when all this wasn't in the public eye. So it was us against the lot, wasn't it? And then nobody else just thought we was crackers, because, like, you know, but now we can talk our piece now, and it's nice to talk our piece of how corrupt it is, and it really is corrupt. And because we know how corrupt it is, yeah, what's going on is the same corruption, and I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw.
No.
Yeah.
Because of our personal journey that we went on. And it wasn't a cyber journey, it was face to face, toe to toe. We met these people in the streets, we met these people in courts.
They obviously knew where we lived.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously knew where we lived. Yeah. So
we never felt our lives threatened at all.
No,
which is strange.
Never felt threatened.
Why is that?
Like, they did not know what to do with us. It's weird. Why didn't feel threatened?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Protected.
We never did.
I don't know.
Yeah. And it has got
We've since spoken to somebody about who we was actually up against.
Yeah.
And
it's a big voice.
They said we were protected.
Protected, yeah. So you don't know then. Maybe they get shot before they get here. I don't know. Probably they'll get taken out before they get here. I don't know. Because you know what I mean, like they just go that back and then it gets dragged off. You don't know. You know what I mean? It's like,
you know how they say things are meant to be?
You know, when you
they say things are meant to be.
Sorry, Terry.
So, like, even though you had all this crap happen to you, look where we're at now. Like all of us have been through the same sort of things that it was meant to be, so we could come out and we could tell people, because we're the ones that have the voice to go, hey, no, people need us, because their voices aren't there to say something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You need the instigators, then you need the drivers, then you need the ones who are the thinkers and the speakers.
The way that it was definitely it was sorry. The journey was on, like we spoke about last week, and then Abracadabra came into our life of unpicking that, and then from having Abracadabra, it was like that. I think is what looks. There's something about Abracadabra. I'll put my hand. I don't know it all about the code or Abracadabra. I don't. I think a lot of it we'll probably learn as we go along, or there's only so much we need to know about it. But it's almost like a dial code, and you dial into the universe. You know, it's like maybe like the old phones. It's almost like it's almost like a dial code that does this, and then it locks into different things. It's a skeleton. It's a skeleton key, like puts you right in the shit, but gets you out of it.
See this, I can't wait.
It puts you right in the middle of the shit. Yeah, but then it gives you, but then it gets you out of it. Every day I go, what now? It's like everything she does. It's like brings something else home.
I do.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are you serious? Everything we do.
Oh, okay. But it did activate when we got together.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we got together, that's when it activated. So was you carrying Abracadabra and I picked it up? Was the females carrying it and I picked it up from you to put it out there? I don't know.
How long have you
but it's led us on. It's led. I mean, the journeys we talk about, the energy.
How long have you guys been
6
together?
months now.
I want to know this too. I want to know.
More like 6 million years.
Yeah, and forever.
You can tell. I mean, you guys are like an old married couple. You totally are.
2002.
2002.
We think it was 2002.
I think it was 2002. No. Yeah, something like that.
We don't really do anniversaries in.
Yeah.
We don't do anniversaries
and
stuff, do we?
No.
Birthdays, Christmas, don't do none of it.
Yeah.
Because you pair.
Yeah. And we've had something to do every day since the day we started. Since the day we got
Is it you or is it me?
I don't know. It's your fucking house, not mine.
Because you pair alike. I said to Dave, my partner, I said, these you pair are like twins. You know when twins talk and they finish each other's sentence and they bob in and out. You pair do that all the time. All the time. I sounded so awkward then. All the time.
Really?
I don't know. Do we?
Do, and you don't offend each other. I remember when I first heard you on the Abracadabra Code with the other people, and I was listening to it, and I thought, boy, this pair really synchronized well, because I'm linguistically inclined, so I can listen and hear different things in stuff. And I would hear your tempo and the pace and and I thought this pair must have been together for like forever because they syncopate really, really well together.
Yeah, it feels like it.
And you do.
Nail
on the head there.
You do. It's a really, really nice symbiotic in a way, symbiotic relationship of kindness and love. Yeah. Well, look at you.
It's mad though, isn't it? But like you say, we're all here to do a job.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, everyone's here.
And then since we got together, it's just been full on, really.
Yeah. But like attracts like.
Full on. I mean, we've been doing.
It's never boring.
No, we've been doing this since what 2002, 2003. We've been battling with them toe to toe. We've met these people. We know who they are. We've met them. We've faced them. You know what I mean? It's like so from 2002. So this what's going on now is nothing new to us.
No,
because we've been doing it since 2002.
It's just trying to get that across to everybody else because we could fully understand why people don't see the corruptness because it is so
all encompassing
and people.
Yeah,
you can understand why people don't realise. I didn't.
No,
but if you've been taught that the good guys,
but like
I don't have a fucking clue.
No, I mean, it's all right. I mean, the thing is, we personally and physically have been taking these people on face to face since 2002, 2003. We've met these people. We've seen these people in court. We know what they're about. We know the amount of corruption, how they do it. How they twist the mortgage. We did the whole thing. So we know. So then when we come along to the present day where we are now, and then people say, "Oh yeah, trust them." I'm like, you can't even trust them with a bank account.
No.
And
actually, your journey is very interesting because nowadays people are learning about what their straw man is. Like your fake identity, your capital letters name, and you being sold on the fucking stock market. So once people realise that, then your gig
exactly
in 2002, 2003 suddenly starts to have a lot more impact and a lot more weight to it, you know. And you were battling this before we had internet. Well, a lot of internet. It was around, but not anywhere near as
I think that's why we did a lot more toe to toe. It was because of the fact of we could send, we're sending letters, we're copying and sending letters more than anything else, didn't we? Well, actually, I tell a lie. We used to send one by first class signed for to the dear board of directors. We used to send one by just a normal mail and an email as well. So you used to get 3, bang, 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 have that, just in case, so they couldn't say, "Oh, I've not received it."
They've not received it.
You couldn't say received it because we used to send it by 3 separate ways to one person. And
Cost us a fortune.
God, it cost us. Well, it's cost us our careers and everything, really, in that way, because we're not being able to work with properly ever since. But here again, thank God for that, because at the end of the day,
who want to work for that?
Who want to work for them? You know what I mean? Because at the time this was going on, we won't mention the name, but you was working for one of the top 3 accountancy firms, and she was a PA for one of the top dogs. And isn't it funny? And when we were taking the banks on, she lost her job and they wanted to get her out.
They were trying to get me the sack, and we're talking to court about it.
We're talking to court about it,
and they had to pay us off.
Yeah, $7,000 we got out of that.
But they were trying to make it so that I hadn't got any employment, so that I couldn't afford a solicitor.
Yeah, but in the end they gave us $7,000. What it meant was because they
paid just over the amount.
Yeah.
That you could get in a tribunal, so that I couldn't say no to the money and go to the tribunal instead, because otherwise the courts would have made me pay for all court costs. Because the company's already offered me above what I'd have got in court.
Yeah. So it shuts you up.
They made it certain that I could not go to court with it.
Yeah, couldn't take it any further.
And I wanted to.
Yeah, and you wanted to, but then we found out that if you did, we'd pay the court costs. We'd lose because they've already gave us over the
and for wasting court's time.
And then you get nailed for it. So it shut the door on it.
Some things you just have to, don't you? Yeah, you can't win. What is it? You can't win every battle if you're looking to win the war.
No. Yeah.
Some battles have to.
Yeah, it's a long battle. That's how they shut the door. Yeah, that's how.
But they're trying to make it so that they would give me the sack, and then I'd lose the house because I wouldn't be able to pay the mortgage. But in the end, it was like more so I can't afford a solicitor and fight the mortgage company.
But we started studying law, and obviously within the confines of the energy and everything else. So we created our own law, and then obviously because we've used these words and terms in their law, like premeditated fabrication with intent, it means you're lying twat, basically. And then they
didn't know what to do.
They didn't know what to do with you. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Because it's a lock and a link and a loop. Because it's premeditated. Because at that particular time, with the bank, it's the same as any letter. It's premeditated because they know what they're doing. Yeah. The fabrication is the paperwork and everything that was taken off the book. So that's the fabrication of the whole thing.
I live in it.
And then. Right, so this is premeditated fabrication, paperwork, and the intent was to deceive and profit from you. So we used to just write in that format, and it's the same as a school letter. That's exactly the same, because they're not telling the parents what is in that ingredient. So little Johnny going to school, how does he know if he's allergic to something in that ingredient? He doesn't. Now, the thing is, his parents probably don't know. Yeah, they don't know what's in it. So how do they know what reaction you're going to get from ingredients?
Yeah,
right.
Sorry,
coffee.
So, but that's their laws. Their laws state that you have to be fully aware of ingredients and side effects. Then there's a disclaimer that if anything goes wrong, it's your fault. So as having an operation, it's the same thing. But they never clip that to the paperwork. So then you're into the premeditated fabrication with intent, and the schools and the powers that be. Don't forget, this is the education system, which is about learning. Yeah, They're not learning the laws that should be passed on. That's why within the letter also we just skim the maritime law and also, you know, we skim into the maritime bit, don't we, as well?
Yeah.
Just so kids can actually learn about maritime law and the contractual law. And here again, use the law against the law. It's a contract. Yeah. So it's a contract, and every contract is an affidavit. It's the most powerful one you can actually write is an affidavit. Most contracts work on the affidavit, but everybody within the party of that contract has to legally know everything you're signing yourself into. But when your parents sign that within 4 weeks of you being born, so you've been signed into something that you don't know about, your parents don't know about. Who knows about it? The powers that be know about it. So it's fraudulent. It's as simple as that.
It makes it null and void.
Makes it null and void. We was reading the common law, and I thought, oh my god, it just makes my head hurt, because it just kept on going round and round and round in circles. And I was talking to somebody, and I said, it seems like to me that common law and maritime law are being linked together. They're being wound into each other. So when you start reading common law, it just like makes you, I don't know if anybody else is trying, it makes your head hurt. It's like, oh my god, I can't get my head around that. So just take it back to the nuts and bolts, contract law. Yeah. So because the contract was broken and it's fraudulent contracts, nobody know about it, and it signs you into the slavery side of it. Stick at that level, and then if you're on that level, that's the first
part of control over a person, isn't it?
Yeah. That's when it locks onto you. What comes after that is this mess of common law and this law and that law and what you have to do and what you have to say, and it becomes a mess. But that's the day that you got signed into that on that point. So if you put yourself back on that point, it's the easiest way of doing it. That it's a fraudulent contract on that point of it being signed.
It makes the rest of it null and void.
And they'll just make the rest of it null and void. You don't have to really. I don't think you have to go looking at all the rest of it if you go to that point of when you were signed into it on a legal contract.
Yeah.
And plus, you're not saying so much in the court either. So the more DNA spread everywhere, the more they can pick it. So if you just, I think, start at that point, it's fraudulent contract, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Job done. And I think at that point where the courts, especially now, they seem to learn a lot more about it because they're being attacked with common law a lot more, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's more in the public awareness.
Yes, it is.
But again, we wrote it in that letter, and kids, it's a lot more. But so within that letter as well, all these draconian laws are all brought down through the fabrication of that contract, fraudulent contract.
Yep.
So the way to protect yourself is just to know it's a fraudulent contract. So why should I accept anything from it? And it only takes all of us to say spin, and it's done. That's why I can't get my head around. Everybody's like doing all these things, struggling and everything, and all they've got to do is just go, fuck you. And literally, if the whole nation went, fuck you, what are they going to do? They can't do nothing. They're like, oh, nothing. Shit. It can be all over in minutes.
Yeah.
Minutes. Yeah, I mean, if we'd all just get, because we're way more than that.
If everybody just turned around and went, hold on a minute.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to nip off. I'm going to be 5 minutes. I'll be back in a minute, okay?
All right.
So do you want to look at your light bulbs again?
Yeah, put your light bulbs on.
All right, look. There they are, look.
Well, when you come back, we'll do the Abracadabra Clock. Yeah, and I'll show you how it works.
I'll be back in a moment.
Promise.
Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Because it's that Abracadabra Clock, wherever it came from or whatever it is gave us this, what we do. Isn't it? And it's probably hard for people to believe what we went through back in the day. You know what I mean? But we've met these people, and in all honesty, they ain't terrifying. They're almost like scared to fucking death of you. Believe me. There's just me and you, and that's all there was. And literally, they was terrified of us, weren't they?
Yeah.
Scared. So when it comes to like, maybe they haven't got the backing that you think they've got. Maybe it's just these like wimpy sort of like kids that have come into power, and that's all. That's all they've got behind it. I don't. From what
hiding behind a computer screen.
Yeah, hiding behind a computer screen. Because we used to write to them and goes, "You can hide behind it. We're going to come and drag you out from that computer screen. I'll find you." Yeah, and maybe they haven't got the muscle that you think they actually got. Yeah. Because the fact of we never seen any heavies, we never seen any muscle come around. We're just seeing wimpy fuckers. Yeah,
that's all they are.
Yeah, but maybe that's why we never felt threatened. Maybe because there's just they haven't got the muscle that they think they have got.
Well, if you start using muscle, then there becomes a whole other. That's a whole other realm. Do you know what I mean? You were dealing with the bean counter money drug dealing ones, whereas they probably had the thug group that were, you know, probably over dealing with the mafia or something. And they're the knee breaking, gun toting ones, right? But they were trying to use what they have. Remember I said in a last video about if you can make everybody respect authority and fear authority, then at any point in time, as long as you can be authoritative enough, you can push your fucking weight around with anyone you think, because we've all been trained the same way. So all they thought that they could use the authority figure on you and get you to obey, which you should have, in their mind, you should have just fucking obeyed. So that's why they use that, because they don't have and didn't have a leg to stand on. So if they start using violence, then they knew they were well armed.
And they've never had anybody go against them before.
No, I think they was more worried why the energy and their system wasn't working. I think that was their biggest fear of this. There's like a bubble of energy, and it's the system.
Well, they're not
within
very
the system.
clever. They're not very bright. Remember?
No, they're not. No.
If you do something outside of
work out what's gone wrong,
then they're like, what do we do if they're not doing what we're telling them to do? Because they probably didn't have not an agenda, you know, like a step B, like what do we do when someone does challenge us? You know, like how do we do this? I think a lot of them have and we're like, you know, the bun in the headlights, like, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah, too busy shocked. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, thing is, we used to sit there sometimes and go, do you think we're working for somebody, but we don't know it?
And the plot.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I love that thought. So a bit like Gregory Hallett, right?
We spoke about it a few times.
We spoke about it a few times because we used to sit there with like different sort of like avenues, scenarios.
Who could actually be?
Yeah, and like. Why have we got this knowledge? Why do we know what we know?
Things always happen at the right time. We always get the right thing, the right time, the right moment, the right money, the right implements, always at the right time.
Yeah.
And never at the wrong time.
Never at the wrong time. And I said to you one day, didn't I? I said,
and we're not in control of that.
No. And I said to you, didn't I? I said, do you think we're working for part of working for somebody, but we've got like a mental block of who we're working for, and we don't know until that box lifted.
I've wondered the same.
I already intuited an energy from you, Lucy, when I very first saw you. The instant I saw you, I don't even know whether I should say it here or not, but you are not of, okay, there's lots of aliens or other realms, or we've done however many lives, or whatever fucking way you want to look at it. But you, my dear, have a whole other fucking energy. You are a whole other.
She so does, doesn't she?
You know why, don't you? This guy has to do it for her.
Same as you, Goose. When I first listened to you share.
I'm fucking worn out looking after her.
Yeah, there is. There's just something. It's nearly like, you've had to contain yourself. You're just like all this huge good, contain and pull down and come down and be this human. It's sort of like, did you ever watch Andromeda, that sci-fi? And there was a girl in there, trans Gemini, and she had a tail. She was sort of like a cat, and she was she got on with the captain of the ship, which was Kevin Sorbo, the guy that played Hercules in the series. Anyway, she was always in this show, and she was always, you know, a bit ethereal and a bit, you know, you always knew she was something else and something, you know, really. And then it worked. And in the end, you realise when you learn that she was actually a son. She came from a clan of people.
Oh my God, that's fucking fucked up, that is.
That ties in with one of our journeys.
That ties in with I've got goose pimply.
That was what I picked up off you. The instant I clapped eyes on you was that. I thought it's nearly like
that's really weird. I've got goose pimply now. I told you, didn't I?
Like something had compressed itself.
I did, didn't I?
Jack hasn't said hardly anything.
It's funny to say about the whole compression thing, because that thing that happened with my back and the pain that I've been having for years and everything. I've had a dodgy hip and
that's what I'm
lots
now.
of pain for many years, at least since a teenager, probably a bit younger than that. And last week you got me to go back to
maybe we could do it for everybody.
Yeah.
We talked about this last time, the dark.
Did we?
Did we talk about it afterwards?
Honestly, I feel like I've got a new back, a new hip. It's mind-blowing how little pain I'm in.
Yeah.
I keep having to remind myself that I'm actually not in pain because I'm so used to being in pain. I'm on the automated thing, and I have to snap myself out of it. Yeah.
So obviously, as you grow,
and it was within an hour of
within
an hour of me touching on that subject, it went boosh, and you went.
But the more you expand,
I know she's telling the truth because now she has to do something. So I know you're telling the truth. I do, because like there's no excuses now. So I know she's telling the truth.
Yeah. Honestly, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
So I think what's happening is each time you grow as a couple as well, because I do think you're intricately linked, and Juicy, I get a different thing from you too, a different one, but a real thing together. Are you there? So as you both grow, Lucy, I reckon as you get to be more of yourself or do more of what your journey is part of, like we all come with something, right? And each one of us would have to say there's something inside of us driving us. We just don't know what it is. But as you become more free, that's possibly why. So your bones move back out. So you can actually, it's the 72 thing.
I'm not constricted anymore.
It is the 72 thing. Great. It is the 72.
Yeah.
Because
so you can become your boss.
I've been holding everything in.
I'm one of our journeys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I sense that in you.
On one of our journeys, we had the Abracadabra, and for some reason we had to control everything by pushing everything into the 12. You know, dung 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 dung. And once it was pushed into the 12, it was almost like we're sitting in like a spaceship, wasn't it? And we kept pulling the sort of like the spheres out and out and out and out and out and out and out, wasn't it? And we're sitting on the top edge, and we just kept pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. It got bigger and bigger and bigger, didn't it? We're like, bloody hell, how big's this going? It was just like, it was like the Abracadabra, you got them spheres inside it. We're sitting on the 72 and just pulling them all open, weren't we? Bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Till in the end, the energies come back, said we can't find the end of it. It's too fucking big and they're naked, and they came back. I went, fucking hell, how big's it gone?
Mahoosive.
Absolutely.
Jungle.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. I was like, Jesus. But that was the day when we hit the boom, wasn't it?
Yeah, the atom.
The atom. And inside the Abracadabra, boom, and it just went boosh, and it just went out. Yeah. And
I think
it's still going.
Most definitely, even if everything preceded this moment, or today, this year, I think you pair are about unlocking things that don't go bang or boom. They're unlocking things that go and I think that's part of because when I first listened to you, I was sitting out in the balcony and I'd had a smoke and I'm having a wine. I was still drinking then. And I remember thinking, I have never met anyone that thinks as far out as what this pair do. And I was really entranced because I untether at times and off I go. And I've never met anyone that has even stuff that's similar in a way than like when I listen to you pair. And this is why I know you're not the regular people. I've met a lot of people in my life, right? A lot of people. You pair are not like them at all.
No,
I thought exactly the same.
I think you're about unlocking. You're such humble people.
An intuitive person. Carol, you're such an intuitive person. I don't know if you knew that before, but you really are. I mean, I feel like you're actually learning your new gifts since you've come in contact with us. Since you've been
I've been at this for forever. But it is. But everybody is becoming more acute. Like I've always been hyper thought, always
more
been
evolving.
Intuitive, all of that always. But I think it's like everybody, we're all coming together. We all knew we had something, or we all knew we all have everything, but I think we favor certain things. It's like vanilla ice cream, chocolate ice cream. It's all ice cream, but there is those little differences. And I think coming together like this, there's different moments where somebody's intonation, someone's vibration, someone's information, someone's education unlocks one of us or all of us, and we tweak and we become bigger or we become more expansive, I think is possibly the word I feel for Lucy and Lucy is you seem to, my sense is you just keep filling the room.
Everyone's dialing into everybody, aren't they?
It's really good though, really good. Like you have the power to teach other people to expand. And see, I'd never thought about it until just now. I mean, that's what we're doing, isn't it? That's evolution, to expand beyond, to expand past limitations. And that to me,
that's still part of healing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Luna's mentioned that as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he talks an expansion, doesn't he? Yeah.
But you're such matter-of-factly humble people. You're not aggressive, you're not bombastic, you're not overly.
Oh, Sky think we are.
It's your gift is to
maybe it's for tongue. Maybe that's the weapon.
Maybe it is.
But the thing is, I sit there, go da-da-da-da, and she says that da-da-da-da. So she's on the tip tap on the computer, and I just spiel it off, and she da-da-da-da, and it's done. Send it, boom, and then. Boom. Let's see what happens. And then we got Wix going, congratulations. And you got Sky going, naughty, and they're going, yay. We're like, I can't fucking win.
Someone's lying. Well, how would you win?
It's fucking mad, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe we should have a word with the website builders and go, if you get the ban off, we can have some more yay. Come on, should we do the clock?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I want to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah.
What about
honestly.
here?
Who?
Hey?
I would like to hear a little bit about this dude Jack here that came and joined us.
No, after. But does it?
Okay.
Yeah, come on then.
Okay. Well, I guess. Wait, which way are we going to go round?
Let's do the clock.
Let's do the clock. Yeah.
I don't mind.
Let's do the clock. Do the clock, then carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably banned by the morning anyway.
No, please no.
See you on the other side.
Right, do you want me to bring up the...
Yeah, go on then. Can we have a split screen?
Hang on.
Okay, now here we go.
Hang on. I don't think we're on the right thing. There we go.
Some got it, weren't them photos?
What the hell?
Hey, do your best.
Right.
Hold on. I can't see it. That's why Mum was on such a big piece of paper, so I can see what I'm doing. Right. So
we did a breakdown in 9 stages.
I'll tell you the easy way of doing it. Let's talk about how the energies gave it to me when I was doing it.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
it.
it'd be easy that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then you get the story out at the same time.
Yeah, go on then.
Right.
Yeah.
God, I love how she's like, yeah,
Right. So
okay.
Abracadabra. Now, when within Phase and Fable, we used to look at Phase. We was looking at Phase and Fable at the time. One thing for wording and everything else, creating our own law, creating how to write a letter. So we was looking for what a word really meant, so we could use that word against somebody if we needed to, or if they used it to us, we could spin it the opposite way. Within doing that, Abracadabra, the energy out of Abracadabra was like a vortex as it was coming out at me out of the page. So the words and print was lifting out from the page. Now then, Abracadabra, when I read Abracadabra, it's a magical word, but a non-magical word. But basically it states, if you understand the power of it, then you wear it around your neck on heavy parchment paper, but with a very thin piece of cotton. Now, it does say that it's like a not a spell, but I suppose it is to keep flus and colds and stuff away. Yeah, but the energy that was coming out of that. But here again, keeping colds and flu and stuff away. Here we are today. So it's a bit of a weird one. Yeah. So. So anyway, but you can't. But the thing that caught my attention was that you wear it around your neck in heavy parchment paper, but with a very thin piece of cotton. So to me, that symbol that if you know what it means, then you understand it, and you understand it, that means you have to tread very carefully, so you don't just because of what you're carrying with you. So you have to tread very carefully with it and guide it. That has responsibility. Yeah, it has responsibility. That's the way I seen it. Or it was shown to me. So when we got the Abracadabra, and you write the word Abracadabra, as you can see, can everybody see that?
Can you not see that?
Can you not see that?
Well, mine's ever so tiny because it's on my phone.
Oh yes, keep going a bit bigger. Oh, thank goodness.
Go on. Yeah. Are you on your phone too, Cheryl?
Right.
I'm on my computer.
All right.
So at this particular time when we was learning all about this, I just knew that everything's always got to be balanced. So what you do for one, you do for the other. So everything's always balanced, no matter what. Yeah. So when I seen Abracadabra, it's got 11 letters in it. Yeah. So to half 11 is 5.5. Which is 11. Yeah. Yeah. Now, if you look at Abracadabra and then to split it evenly, you wrap it around the clock. So Abracadabra's got 11 letters in, but the original alphabet had 24 letters in it. So that's the runes. So the original alphabet only had 24 letters, not 26. So you can split. So now you can split the alphabet around the clock. It's got 24 letters. Yeah. So because your prefixes of A. Whoops! I've touched it. I'm not touching. Don't touch it. Because the prefixes, you got A at the start, the middle, and the end. They're like prefixes. Like everything starts a day, a minute, a second, a this, a that. It's a start point and an end point. It's always a start point. A. Yeah. So what I did was I dropped it around the clock. So I drew a circle and I dropped it around the clock. So the A in the center was the middle, and then all I did was break that thingy. So it's A. And then obviously that was the center point, and then you go D, A, B, R on one side, and then the C, A, R, B, A around the other side. Yeah. Around the clock. Have we got that now? We'll always come back to that.
No.
Oh, what? What do you mean no?
That's it.
So as you can see there, you brought the A down. Yeah. And then you got the A point, and it splits around the clock. Yeah. Now, at that particular time, BC and AD, before clock and after dial. Yeah. You right? So BC's before clock, after dial. Well, the symbol of that in the middle is a sound clock. So basically splitting the sound clock apart. Yeah. Starting time. Now, on a computer, you've got less than and greater than. It's a symbol, like a line and a symbol, isn't it? But on a computer, it's the wrong way round. You've got less than points that way and greater than that. So basically, it's greater than is AD because it's infinity, and less than is BC. So it's before clock and after AD. and basically it opens the sundial, opens the clock through the center between the 12 and the 6, straight through. That's your sundial open, so that's after dial. So then all I do is just do what it says. So you've got AD, yeah. So I thought, and then the cross. Well, obviously you got the cross. Now the cross comes from the previous word on the previous page, Abracadabra. So when you look in Phase and Fable, you see how it spells across there on the triangle, Abra, at the top. Yeah. And then if you look,
that's how it's put in Phase and Fable, Abracadabra, with the triangle.
With a triangle, and then it prefixes all the way down till it comes to another A point. So
and that's what you wear around your neck on a piece of
parchment paper.
Which bit?
I mean, it's in the PDF anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have we got that bit?
Yeah.
Have we got the
No,
we haven't got them.
What?
Phase of Fable.
No.
Okay.
Oh, actually, yeah, I read
in
that.
Phase of Fable, and it spells all the way down until you get to an A point. Yeah. So that's your cross.
It actually shows this.
Yeah.
Diagram.
Yeah. Like that, and it spells it sort of like abbreviates itself all the way down, but then it spells Abracadabra down all 3 points.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've got that. Anyway, back next page. Right, so that prefix of the Abracadabra.
Stop touching
I'm not. Did I touch it? I didn't even touch it.
Did I?
Did. As you cross, it gives you a triangle in there. That's where the cross comes from. It's the Abracadabra. It's written. That gives you your cross. Yeah, and because it's 12, it's like 2 clocks because they're 24. So you got one top, one bottom. That's your cross. Yeah. So that each one of them triangles is Abracadabra, and that gives you a cross in your clock. And then you just do what it says. So it says add a cross. So I thought, okay, add a cross. So
move on to the next one.
So basically, all you're doing is you do what it says. It's an old bit of technology that is simple to do. You just do what it says. So you add a cross. So you've added your cross because that's the Abracadabra.
So your 7 plus 1 equals 8.
8. And
then your 8 plus 2 equals 10. And then your 9 plus 3 equals 12. And so on.
And so on. So you're just adding out of the clock. Add across, adding across the clock.
Yeah. And that's the first.
That gives you the first ring. Yeah. So then, because you've added, you've got to subtract away from the clock. So you take the highest from the lowest. So basically, you take the highest from the lowest.
So yeah, 8 minus 1 equals 7. 10 minus 2 equals 8. 12 minus 3 is 9.
Etc.
Etc.
All the way around. Go on. Have we got another?
Then we've got the next one.
Aha. There you go.
So you keep doing that. 4 out. So you take the highest from
the lowest, just balancing the clock. And once you go 4 out, it goes 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 as a calculation all the way around
the clock.
Which is like fucked up, really. Because all them calculations across the clock, when you're taking the highest from the lowest, it comes to 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 all the way around the clock. Which is like madness of like all them calculations that you're doing across the clock.
All those numbers you could come across.
Yeah, and you've got 4 calculations out, and it's 6. It's 4 calculations, 6. Well, you got 4 months of the year.
4 seasons.
4 seasons of the year. 4 seasons. 4 weeks. You've got 4 weeks to the month. And when you go back to Abracadabra on the top page, I'm not touching nothing because I know what happens. It just falls to pieces.
On the top page.
Top. Yeah. Using like numerology, A is 1, B is 2, etc., and then putting the numbers underneath, it all adds up to 52.
Which is weeks of the year.
52 weeks of the year.
And 7 days in a week if you add the 5 and the 2.
Yeah, 7 days of the week. So you got 52, and which is also fucked up because there's 52 cards in a pack in a pack of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when we as kids, we used to play clock patience and used to put the cards out. Then you end up with the 12. The last one, 12 will pick out on the 12. on the clock patient. So even that fits into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was playing that Monday.
And then you got V, obviously V, which is part of the thing. V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. Yeah. So 52 is also 2 upside down. You can spin it. It's like, because that's, don't forget, abracadabra is a sphere. It's not flat. It's a sphere. It's a sphere. It goes round and round and round. So the 5 and the 2 is like 22. Yeah, because it can split. One's one way, one the other. 2 and 5 are more or less the same sort of looking figure. And then obviously V, which is the V that put in the clock, which is 22. And then V is also equal to 5 as well, which is 5 and 5. Yeah, is 5.5, which is 11. So it's like gee whiz, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got V and V, which is 5 and 5 equals 10, which is X, back into the X.
Yeah,
and that's you add across. So whichever way you go with it, it throws you back in again, a bit like one of our letters. But the balance of the universe has something to do with 22. It's even 2 and even from. That's why if you're playing cards, you always pay the banker 22. But if what game is that? You know, Jude, what game is that? You pay the banker 22.
It's poker, isn't it? Isn't it poker?
Is it poker? Is it? Is
poker.
Is it? Everything adds to 2. So you pay banker 22. If you get 21, you win. But the thing is, because it's the power of the universe of how it fits together is 22. That's why you pay banker at 22, but you win on 21. No matter what, if you get a picture and a 2, the next one would be a 10, guaranteed.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it balances. And usually, if you think, oh, they're quite low, you get 5 cards and 22 and you bust. So that's why I don't gamble. Yeah, because the powers that be know about the laws of 22 and the energy of 22. So basically, you're
it's not about being lucky or unlucky. It's about the universe trying to balance itself.
And 22.
The universe will always try and balance
itself. We've even sat there with decks of cards trying to break the sequence, but you can't. And the pack of cards balance themselves out in the end to like against you. If you're playing against the banker, we've tried it, and we've sat there playing with it for ages. That's why clock patience works as well. You do it so many times until the cards line themselves up. And once the cards line themselves up, it works out every time after that. Which is like, and this is why, because 22 is the balance of the universe. Don't know why the symbol of 22, but that 22 could be a symbol of anything. It'd be 11 and 22 are definitely the balance of the universe between the two of them. Definitely.
What are you doing?
I need to screen.
I don't know. I think it's full.
I'll go up. Right,
so we're wrong then.
Keep going. Go to full. We've got a full clock.
There
you go. Look.
Let's try and make it a bit smaller so we can fit it all on.
Can everybody see that?
Ooh.
I got to get this PDF so I can like get really cool.
We send it, Did we send it?
Because I'm looking. I really want to immerse myself in it and do the 3 4D.
Well, this is where it gets a bit. This is where once you're doing your calculations out from the clock, of your balance in your clock, and it all ends in 6, and the 6 12s are 72, and 72 is 9, and 9 is universal completion, or you spin it with the way that thing is 6. You got yin and yang, which is 6 and 9, and everything else. It's the symbol. It's not what it is. It's the symbol of what it is. But that 6 point around the clock. Whoa! But if you look at the clock,
that looks like the rings of a tree.
They are like the growth rings of a tree, but when we've been on our travels, because you've got in the center one, you've got the normal clock, the 12 in the center, and then what you've got these spheres on the outside. It's almost like each one of these spheres is a separate like dome. we've seen the domes,
Yeah.
and each one of these is a separate dome and a different size. 72 is full size, yeah, and then you got the ones that fit on the inside. They're a different size, sort of like dome.
Sorry.
So you got a 12. So you can be living in the 12. So it's almost like when I travelled. You can be living in a 12 universe, but it feels like a 72. So it gives you more time to do things. Depends on how it spins. Bigger dome, smaller planet. So you get less rotation. It's the rotation. So when we're doing things, it gives
you extra time.
It gives you extra time to thingy. So when we're on a travel, I was like, how long have we been here? And they're like, oh my God, not really that long. But it's something to do with the expansion and contraction of time to give you time to do things. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously there's an emotional aspect to this as well, I wonder, because you know, when you're happy, time goes really quickly, and when you're sad or you're bummed or whatever, it slows down. So I wonder the emotional frequency, or whether that's two separate things, an emotion and a frequency. There must be some element that unlocks this on that level as well. So you can look at it like go rightio and look at the drawing and what you've done. But I'm sort of, my brain's now thinking, well, maybe there's a vibration to this as well that draws more of it out.
Yeah, like the rings, the ripples.
Yeah.
And this, when I was doing this, because they was partying at the time, so I was off my fucking rockers, and when it came to me, and you was all asleep, and you woke up and went, "What the fuck you been doing?" I went, "I just found a clock in Abracadabra," and they're like, "Fuck off!" I went, "Fucking hell!" So I sat about 8 people down in the back room, like school time, and made them all draw it. This was fucking mad at the time, but there you go. But this is when you're doing them simple calculations, and it is a simple calculation. You add out, then you subtract the highest from the lowest, and you go 4 out, and it goes 6, 6, 6, 6. That's the only place where it balances. It's 6, 6, 6, 6. This is what they go, it's the devil. No, it's not the devil. Look, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 all the way around. Look, it's not the devil. Yeah, it's completion. This is why they use 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 as devil, because somebody back in the day knew about this and used it against us.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to hide it. Yeah. And I think they've lost the power of this, or this has come back to us, or I think we gave it to them, and to see what they do with it. They've let themselves down, and we're taking it back.
Yeah.
More like. That's why we ring the police. It's 999. It's 666 upside down. Yeah. But back in the day when it was 999, yeah, it was like it's the longest way. So by the time you go, hello, right, it's fucking gone, mate. It should have been 111.
Yeah.
Should have been. Not, you know what I mean? It's not.
Something that's quite urgent.
Yeah, no, I'm dead now, mate. I won't be fucked off. Bank robbing. Yeah, no, sorry, mate. It don't make sense.
I lost
but
you.
It makes sense.
Oh, I lost
you. We know where you live. We know where you live. So after done the calculation, this one of them is something special, right? Because you've got your 12 to 1, 2, 3 in the center one. Then if you go to the bottom, yeah, underneath the 18 on the 6, and you see there's a 12 there.
Yeah.
Underneath the 18.
There.
So then you go the 12 there, look, and then you count, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 again. It's like, and then you go to the back to the top one again, which is like 12 o'clock there. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 again. So they've just, from them random calculations, you've got a 12 clock.
The inner one goes the right way.
Yeah. That goes that way, look.
And then this one starts that way.
And goes around that way. And then the top one again.
And then the top one
starts there.
And that way.
And go that way.
Just like from them. This is like
just from them simple calculations, yeah. and four out is the 6, and then you've got the other ones here, which is like your 12. So you've got 1, 2, you've got 3 clock, you've got 3 clocks within that, and the calculations work out perfectly for it.
I wonder what Tesla made of this, because Tesla would had to have seen this. His love of numbers, the 3, 6, 9.
Well, you see, there you go.
6 and the 9.
3, 6, and the 9. Look,
9.
I want your 9. If you look at your 180 line, 3 clock.
The 6 and the 9.
There's your 3 and 6 and your 9.
Yeah.
Then you got a 12 that adds to a 3.
Yeah.
Then there's 9. Yeah. God, there's so many layers to this. I'm sort of starting to sort of imagine that it's like 5-dimensional. Like I think there's, because you look at it, it's a bit like a time tunnel. And I think someone did this.
It's
like
Terry one of those mazes that that's like a spherical thing that has
like
so
this.
many intricate ways of doing it, like almost like a
no them space chairs.
Yeah, cube.
I tell you what it feels like. No them space chairs you sit in, they spin you. It's like that, but this is the code within it.
Yeah. Like
so
in that movie,
from simple calculation, so from a simple calculation of Abracadabra and a simple of just do what it says, add across, subtract, balance clock, blah blah blah, you get within these 3 clocks within it from the calculation. For that to happen like that, it's like freaky. It freaked me right out. I was like, oh my god. You know what I mean? It's like, but now we've got these figures that we started adding up the figures. Now on the 180 line, which is say your east, your west across there, look, they add up to 30 going across.
Figures.
Yeah. Now between 1 and 2 and 3 across, you've got 30 degrees of separation between the two, between each segment. That's 30 degrees bang on. It works out 30 degrees off your 180 line. So if you get your protractor, some of the cool, I can't remember the cool protractor, it's 30 degrees, dun 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 dun. But that's your 30
They're
line.
All 30 degrees separate from each other.
But that's your 180 line. Yeah, so it's your 180, which adds up to 30, and that's your and that's your 369 line. Right way across, and you've got 30 degrees of separation between each number. Around the clock.
Yeah.
And then there's only one line that added up. So did you see the 22s?
This one.
Between your 1 and your 7, which is 8.
Yeah.
There, look. They add up to 22. It's like a cancer line going all the way through. They're the only ones that actually calculate
to
22. Across that line there between your 1 and your 7, and 1 and 7, which is your 8, which brings you into your 8 on either side, which is your lock link, your loop.
Yeah.
I can't remember whether I wrote that on anyone.
So then,
and that was the middle of the clock, wasn't it?
That's the middle of the clock. That's your figure of 8 in the middle of the clock. And then because you got your individual clocks within it, you got figure of 8 coming all the way out.
Yeah.
Going back through, all the way through. And that was and that one there. You can see your 22s.
That's your 22 line.
Oh yeah.
Through. Yeah. And then these H lines are like parallel universes. But the thing is that they
all seem to lock it all together.
They lock it all together so it can't be pulled apart. It keeps the 22 line rigid through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's spherical.
It stops it twisting and turning. It's like a lock. And when you look at that, it does take you travelling through, doesn't it? It's like woo.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And, oh damn.
Like you're going down a hole.
No.
Don't touch.
Yeah. Yeah, and each one of them is like so. And also, when you look at the H that goes through the middle, it's the start of time or clock of the sand clock opening up.
Okay.
Through the middle, and it keeps the parallel universes open. So when we've been traveling, these things have been bouncing out, isn't they? You can see the energy that comes out of them. And it's amazing. The energy locks itself into different numbers and starts relaying and dialing different things in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So whoa, where are we off now?
How come there's like, you see there's all, they look like pillars, right? Big red pillars between the, There's one like the C and the A that don't have one, and a D and an A that don't have the red line between them. Why is that? Yeah, that. Why? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't know. You drew that.
I mean, are they omitted for a reason, or is it just...
There is an open door on it. Let me just go. There's a there is an open door here at the bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Now you see how this is your abracadabra. Look, you spell it from the top and it goes around and it goes around, and at the bottom
it's like an opening.
You got an opening.
Yeah.
So you've got an A there, A there. You got A there. Whoops. Yeah, and then you've got C.
I follow.
Yeah.
My question is
yeah, and
where
that's
does
open.
the music come in?
And that's an
Where
open door.
does the music come into this? Because the key of the universe is 369, and that's music. So where does the music come into this?
Oh well, it's a double beat. It's figure of 8. So the double beat works like this. It's like DNA.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a repetitive beat.
Okay.
And it pushes out and in and out and in and out.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's how the double beat works. Yeah, so if you listen to music, it's got the double beat. This actually lines up perfectly with it. And if you watch the right film, you can put whatever music to the film and then or dancing, and it actually looks like the dancing to the music that you're listening to. Because it does that basically. And that's why it's outlawed. You're not allowed to listen to this, which is bonkers as well. But that's when I don't know if we've got this on open on this one. It was one of the earlier ones. I was looking at the chair. You know the chair of destiny, the stone of destiny, and the coronation chair.
Yeah, I remember it coming up on Abra.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got it.
Don't think we've got it.
I haven't got it.
Don't open anything else up. But on one of the early ones, yeah, the chair, which is mad. If you look at the actual chair,
the coronation chair,
it fits into this opening.
With all the, it fits into this opening.
Yeah. And
it even works out with all these bits.
Yeah.
Being parts of the chair.
You got little noggins on the side of the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These bits.
Yeah.
And that chair supposedly held the stone of destiny underneath the seat.
Yeah.
And it was the stone of destiny that Greg Hallett went searching for in Scotland.
Yeah. Now so that chair of stone of destiny and that fit together perfectly. If you can imagine if you're sitting in that chair, yeah,
and it's got a thingy on the back of it.
Yeah,
it's got little nobules.
Yeah, and it fits in, and then that locks to it.
And the little nobules fit in with each one of these.
Yeah, perfectly.
Wow.
So it's almost like if
it's almost like a key and a lock and a
yeah. And you can imagine yourself sitting in that chair, and then this sitting around you, as the universe and everything in it. Now that's what was either pinched or we gave to them to see how they go on with it, and it's a case of, well, you've let yourself down and we've took it back.
I think they pinched it.
Probably pinched it, or but I don't know. Jury's out on that one. It's like, you see, the thing is with greedy gits, yeah, back in the day.
Oh, Amy's here.
Oh, who's that?
Amy.
Oh wow.
Hey Amy, what's up?
Hi Amy.
Hi Amy.
Hi Amy.
Hi Amy. Is anybody watching and no one's like seeing if there's any questions today?
Yeah,
Tash
has been broadbanded out. Her internet's gone down.
Her internet's gone down.
To the 13th.
Yeah, well, it's beyond my capabilities. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. The thing is, end of the day, it's quite. If anybody gets any problems, just get in touch with us and we can go through it. You know what I mean? It's quite simple. It looks confusing when you look at it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just a simple calculation. of adding across, which is Abracadabra, add across the clock, which gives you their numbers. Yeah.
The first circle is the normal clock.
Yeah.
The second circle is Abracadabra.
Yeah.
The third circle is the first lot of mine, taking highest from the lowest. And then you do that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then you carry on doing. Got the 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
And you get a calculator. I would experiment with it. And
this one, we just added an extra abracadabra on the very outside.
Just to show. Yeah, and then how it's open on these 2 dates at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think on one of our journeys, the 22 line, the cancer line, we watched, because what happens is the print lifts off the page, so it becomes interactive drawing.
It kind of reminds me of a college.
Is everybody there?
Is everybody there? That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what happened was
I can't find
the 22 actually moved all the way round, didn't it? To here. So because if
22 moved up to here to there, didn't it?
And closed it.
And closed it.
And locked it.
So it was there instead.
Yeah.
Of there.
What happens is the print separates from the actual paper and it becomes interactive with us, and then the print starts moving around the paper, which is like amazing.
And then other things reveal themselves.
And then we've had the energy when it's loaded in, and it loads in sequences as it goes around. So this here is like the old clock. And each one of these numbers.
Hear like the gears cooking. Like the more you talk about it, it's like I can almost hear what you're talking about and hear like gears clicking as it clicks to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
We were sitting in the old place, and literally, we were sitting there, and Abracadabra, and I seen it activate, and literally all the buildings around us was going like a big clock, wasn't it? I was like, oh my god, you can actually feel it. And all the houses around us were like and locked. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, that's fucked up. Because the thing is, when we go on a journey, it's all the houses around us separate themselves, so they all float around. I can actually push them out of the way. You can actually get houses, everything separates, you can actually move houses around. So it's definitely a matrix.
Not just houses, but plants as
plants
well.
And everything.
All trees.
Yeah, wasn't it? You can actually remember, there's a new superpower, babes. What's that? It says, I can blow that house over there, and it moves. He's like, fuck off. I was like, fucking house moves off into the distance. I was like, fucking yes. What a superpower that is. See, you keep that away from me.
Earlier you were trying to say something and you forgot what you were saying. You said he looked out and you saw the sun or something. That's what he's talking about. These things that your events and stuff you were talking about previously and stuff, it's like all coming together, because I've been like, in my astral projections, all this stuff, we've already discussed this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Should we go back to a normal screen now, or?
Oh, no, any more? Yeah.
Should we go back to normal screen?
Can we go back to normal screen and we can talk about it?
Yeah.
Does everybody
what do you understand it? Juicy, what do you use the clock for?
It uses us. It does, doesn't it? It's found us.
Since Juicy downloaded it and explained it to me and others, we do feel like it's kind of protected us, and we've been able to.
If you read that school letter, and then look at that, it's quite similar.
Okay.
Because then you'll see all the twists and turns of that letter and how it ties people into it in all sorts of different directions.
So you can bring them in on any point of that.
And the more they do the wrong thing, the tighter those twists and turns will get on them.
So if you look at
all they do is do the right thing.
So if you look at the twists and turns and them clocks, and it's like a dial code, and we can bring, because we control, we're all part of this. That's why it resonates all. Yeah, but we can bring anybody in. So we could bring somebody in on let's say the 3rd clock out. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, but thing at 10 and bring them in at that point. Bang, wrap them into the story. Bang, have that. Or we could bring them in this one. Bang, bang. So if you look at the letters we write, it's quite similar format to that. We can bring, these are all separate points, and we write a letter, and you can bring people in on that point. Go. You can't say that. If you say that, it means you're saying that, but you're actually wrong on that. It's like that, and it's almost like a skeleton key that opens many doors. Be prepared for it.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe you said that. Like, I just, like, the image in my head was this key that goes into a Dalek. You know, on like Doctor Who, but that's not, like, that doesn't have anything to do with the Dalek, but it's what the key looks like. Like, it fits within the webbing. Like, it fits in, like, you know what I'm trying to say here? Like, I can see it fitting in there. Where is the key?
It's like wormhole as well.
It is. They won't worm them. Got them letters we write. They can't worm out of it.
No, but it's almost like it's a it gives you access to a lot, and protects you as well, because if you go onto the website and then you look at the blog, and then you read the letter a few times, and then you understand that, you can see that clock fits into that letter. It's like, I'm being truthful. We're just stating your law against yourself, and I want answers. We can bring you in anywhere, but they then answer it because they're wrong anyway, and you can bring them in on any clock and spin them around either way and pull them in. Just be truthful. Be truthful. Put the problem right, and it leaves you alone. It's like, we can't write a letter in this format if you actually done nothing wrong. If you're up to no good, then we can write a letter in that format. This was given to us when we was doing the banking and everything else, and I was supposed to be met. And then this come along, and then this is where the energies and the whole story starts with all of that. It opened a lot. I used to sit it on the floor. The energy was like vortexes coming out of it, wasn't it? You could actually see it. Yeah. The paper would literally lift on the corners. On
the corners and curl in because the amount of power that's coming through it. People used to go, "No, you're in."
I mean, I
could the energy. You could see the energy coming out of your house.
Like right now, I can almost see it rotating, sitting here just looking at it on the screen, like the direction.
It does. It separates. What happens is that ink, even if you've got it on the computer, it separates off the page and then starts rotating and going around different ways.
Yes. I see that.
It does.
I mean, it's so weird.
Have you ever made this with, like, the outside being one piece of cardboard and then get another piece of cardboard this size and, like, put them on top of each other so you can spin them around?
No,
no, we haven't.
No, but I know it's a sphere. It's a.
So you could just beat them up. Maybe there's some three-dimensional thing, you know, and touching it. It's like that thing. I really wish I could remember the name of it. It started to come out now because more alien technology is coming out. But it's where you can write symbols that would start an alien craft. All they did was they would write these symbols, and it would start it, right? Now, I don't know what this is. I've been looking for years. I hit the search engine and I put in a million things, like starting things with my finger, drawing in spells or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but I'm wondering if this is meant to become animated physically, like, because my brain thinks, remember years ago you used to get those things and it was like I think you could check tide times or times overseas, and they were little bits of cardboard on top of each other held together with and you could spin them around and you could line them up with different things. I'm wondering if this needs that animation, and to me there's something else, like
we're waiting on.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what would be interesting. Does this fit into that clock they found in ancient Greece underneath the sea?
You know, the first computer.
Yeah.
But the clock, has that got anything to do with that?
Wow.
It does look an awful lot like it.
It's a very, whatever that is, it's very old, and it's a clock, and that's old, and a clock, and very old, and it's probably older than what you actually think it is. It probably goes back a lot further than that.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say it's
definitely. Yeah, like and does this have some? Does this have something to do with that?
Yeah. Well, there's
is that what was stolen and they lost it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It actually, to me, it's like it's starting to sing something in just metaphoric terms. It's like it's doing something in the back of my brain right now, and I can feel it. I can feel something going on here, like a physical sensation of something as I look at this. It's like it's wanting me to look at it more, to draw more of it out, which is what you did, Juicy, right? Both of you and Lucy, right? You got into it, you immersed yourself in it and drew the information out. Well, I'm feeling this, and I want to go and make it into those things and cut out cardboard and do it and see what I don't know. You know, I love
it.
Do it.
What we also need, we need a computer wizzo. We need somebody that's really good with computers.
I want you to, because then I can see it in my head.
And do a spherical one.
And then we can put that into a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Print it.
Sorry, I lost you.
Very good.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
And I think, there's been...
we just got to find the movies.
Yeah. Hey, switch it off.
Like they've made
it's definitely got its own life force though. I can almost see it pulsing like
I can see it pulsing.
That's why we
core too.
We struggle to take when you draw it yourself and then you try and take a photo. It's a fucking nightmare to take a photo because the energy coming out of it makes it difficult.
Fuzzy.
It makes it difficult to draw the photo. Because the energy is coming out from it, you're like that, and it's hard to take a photo of it. It really is hard.
You're trying to hold it in that 1 second to get a picture.
You can't control it.
My guess is it doesn't function in that time. Well, time doesn't exist.
It's like a volcano of energy coming out of it, and it's so fuzzy that the photos just won't picture.
Like trying to photograph something that's phasing in and out, so you can't ever take a photo because it won't stay in our reality, because I don't think it's from our reality, to be perfectly honest.
No, it's not.
I think this is from something that's much more dimensionally advanced.
Let's go back to
that's another one I did.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, I like that. The all around the outside.
Yeah.
Cool, isn't it?
Oh, hello, Amy Jane.
It was
I haven't seen you there.
Hello, Amy.
Yeah. We did that. On New Year's Eve.
Not really showing up very well, was it?
No. But that was another.
Eyes as well. Lots of eyes.
Yeah.
Iris. That's to do with eye. Is that in the PDF? That photo.
That's in perfect clarity.
It is, isn't it?
I think it's all of us are unlocking it, I think it's like movie. If life is a movie and they make movies out of real things.
I think every single
that one got a bit damaged, but we used that one on some of the travel. We see that one.
Well, it's like a comet.
Yeah, that's something to do with a star drive that sits in the middle of the planet. It's got like a star drive. It sits in the middle and connects to the stars, and the stars are like location pins that lock in, and it's like a star drive. And then
Puna's also told us that it's also a medicine wheel.
It's
ever perpetuate.
Yeah, it's constantly
in motion,
constantly all the time.
Yeah,
and that's another. But I used to call it a star drive because the stars come in at different angles, like and pin into the center of the planet and lock it in place. It's like a star drive. That's a sphere, so that's it. Yeah, and it sits in the middle. Yeah.
Wouldn't it make like a machine in a sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've actually
seen
starships traveling around it and then coming in and docking into these places. So I know that looks probably a bit like a thing. That's just one part of it. But we've actually seen, when it's been on the mantelpiece, starships coming all the way around this page and then coming in and docking into it. But like, we're going home, yay! I'm fucking still there.
We're all waiting for our mothership to come, right? I am. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm here.
But literally,
Bags packed.
yeah, like, yes, but oh, fucking back again.
Your job's not done yet. You're staying.
You've got to go back and tell them more stories. Oh my god! You've got to go back and tell them more stories. Fucking hell!
Because you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get. I'll get the PDF, and I'm going to go through and have a really good look at it. Then do where I'm going to come up with some questions, and I think if we do, like, get you to answer questions. It's one thing to look at it when you're explaining it, but I know I'm really going to have to eyeball it to get it into my brain, because I'm looking at it and it's nearly like going glazing over. It's like
I'm gonna have to draw it.
Draw it. Don't forget your hand teaches your brain.
Yeah, I have to unlock it.
Remember about the fuck it letter and what we did with the fuck it letter. Your hand teaches your brain, so it's that impregnates that in there.
That's what I need then.
Do you know what I mean?
And do that, but then come
if
up
you
with
feel the need,
questions.
Cheryl, to do it that way with all the moving parts, go for it.
I'd love to have a look and see what it would do.
Next Saturday, there'll be drawings all over the fucking wall. Oh my god!
This is all going to turn on when we connect with all of us get together. Like our collective is finally together, all of us, because there's more to come. Then it'll turn on.
Yeah.
I believe the clocks will start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we'll morph into stories of how people are using it. You know what I mean? Like, this is the very beginning of opening the book of instructions.
Yeah, I think it's different bits are personal to everybody.
And each bit is personal to all of it. You know, as who we are as a collective, and then it's all coming together within it. It's like once you've actually drawn it and you've done it yourself, your calculations are right because it'll end in 6. And once you get your calculations to end in 6, you're done. The clock is complete. Because if you're wrong on your calculations, it won't end in 6 4 out.
No.
So it's as simple as that.
Maybe it's like a guitar. Do you know what I mean? A guitar in the metaphoric sense. So the clock is a guitar, and each person takes it off and has an emotional connection with it, a skill connection with it, but also a vision of, because music, and I think the code is the same, it expresses itself. You don't know what you're going to play if you're going to, or you're going to daydream. You don't know what you're going to think about. So I think maybe we're getting to that point where the abracadabra code is what unlocks a part of humanity's brain where they can then start to think in that mode. Do you know what I mean? So maybe you pair were here simply to bring something so simple yet so massive in that in to help people evolve or help people, because you're a lot like me, right? I don't want to hold hands and help people along that way. I would prefer to give them the tools to get the fuck on with their own life confidently and strongly on their own.
And tell us about their experiences.
Dignity and strength for them, instead of, you get these people, they want to be there all the time and they want their fucking ego stroked as well, like, everyone to come to them and go, oh, you've saved me, oh, thank goodness. This group is not about that, and I really like that, because I will always push for, because people will make great decisions for themselves if they have enough information. End of story.
Well, what you put in, you get out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and we've all got a part to play. We've all got experiences to share, and we've all got knowledge to share with each other. And I think we have to do this as a group thing, as we're all, we're all in it together. And
exactly.
Yeah,
we've all got just as much input to.
It's like the fuck it letter. By more people who's all grouped together, fuck it letter. It does fucking work. I mean, we're trying to get that. We're trying to load up, but our internet's not that great at the minute. We
had a chat with Nigel Mitchell from Tunnel Mental.
Tunnel
Mental.
Yeah, right.
Amazing chat.
Yeah.
Amazing chat. Last Saturday after we did Abracadabra, and Nigel wanted to edit bits of it out, and but we want to share it with everybody.
Yeah.
But our internet is so bad. I'm really struggling to download it to then reload it onto YouTube. So it will get put up eventually.
Yeah.
But it's just getting the internet to work.
We nearly got there.
Needs to manifest better.
We've got over 3 quarts, and somebody forgot to plug the phone in. It went flat. Oh my God!
That was it. It cuts it all out, and you have to start from scratch. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, but we was talking about on that one. I was saying about plastic of the world, and we were talking about this before with propylene glycol and thingy. Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Amy.
Hi, Amy.
Right.
Hello.
Fabulous chair.
Hiya.
Hey.
Sorry, I'm
You
late.
alright?
Gorgeous.
Here though.
Oh, what have I
And
missed?
I was saying on there about
You missed the clock.
nothing.
Oh, who's here? Ah, hi everyone.
You're right.
Yeah, good. Keep going, keep going.
Keep going. And I was saying about plastic. All they've got to do is make it a better commodity, like semi-precious metal. Yeah, and then literally people go around picking it up to weigh it in, like copper and lead and scrap. They'll go around picking it up to weigh it in to get money on it. It's as simple as that. And people then would go around, stop making it, make it a commodity, yeah, and then go around picking it up, weighing it in down like the wherever, and getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
That's a very good initiative, actually. It's like
It is, isn't it?
you have to use everyone's currency, and I don't mean in monetary terms, because everyone has a currency. Someone could be giving them your time, it could be giving them your ear. But if you can find the currency that works the best for those that need it, it's like we've got huge recycling stuff going on here in Australia now, where it's like a big, gigantic, like a shipping container, sort of. And you go and you punch all the details in and you put all your whatevers in, and it gives you a little docket, and you can either cash it in, like put it in your bank or whatever. But the money that
our council takes it off, makes money on it, and charges you for it.
Exactly. We've got people here. There's a guy that gets around on a mobility scooter with a trailer, and he's just salt of the earth guy. He's very humble. He would look like a hobo to everybody else, but he makes like quite a handsome income, a living now, just by simply collecting these cans and bottles and what have you. So in a manner, the cleanup could provide employment and stability. Not just employment, that word is very cold and very indescriptive. Employment means, for let's call him Bob. So Bob now has an extra $100 a week. So Bob actually can buy some fucking fruit, or Bob can pay to have something put on, or Bob can go to the doctors or get this bloody whatever, an x-ray that he needs. It lifts up people's quality of life, which lifts up their vibration, which lifts up their ability to then re-interact with society, because a lot of them become disenfranchised and distant because, one, they don't feel heard, two, they feel embarrassed for what they don't have. And let's face it, this whole bullshit society thing that we've been drilled with, which doesn't exist at all. There is no fucking thing as society. It's people and community. End of story. The word society is an ability to fucking scare you and guilt you into doing shit, right? Or buying shit, or shutting the fuck up, or rush off and do your fucking, your addiction. So if we can turn things around where the fix for everybody becomes a fix for the people helping, which then becomes another fix for society, because things are getting cleaned up. People have got money and a bit of fucking dignity, for Christ's sake. It doesn't. It's not hard. And this way, actually, everybody inches up and that's why I think you, Juicy and Lucy, are really good at instigating and having these ideas that are like essential in their essence, in their smallness. They're huge. In their simplicity, they're magnificent because they're huge. You can go with it like the clock. go with it and turn it into big. The letter is so simple. Sit down and put something out. People take it and expand on it. So that's why I think you pair are all about expansion. People feel expansive around you because also you're not pricks, you're not full of shit, you're big ego maniacs. You're just these two incredibly humble, happy, really nice people. I find you really nice people.
No, thank you. You couldn't write letters to Sky, could you?
But I think everybody would agree.
They seem to have a different picture completely.
We all do, Lou. We all agree.
Which is
We'd
funny.
have to hear if we didn't, would we?
No,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be attracted to this vibration,
No,
would we?
no. We're all of this like mind, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's simple, isn't it?
You can't see vibration.
Don't make anything that can't be recycled. Just bring a whole new law out.
No.
If it can't be recycled, then you're not allowed to make it.
That's
As simple as that.
How hard is that? It's not hard.
Well, that's not hard.
No.
But there's no big books. It costs them so much money. It's almost like they want to fuck the world up.
Yeah, they do.
Absolutely they do.
How do we fuck the world up? With plastic, with propylene glycol, with
They
this,
just want to
with
fuck
that.
it up from us. They just don't want the masses to be happy, healthy, or even fucking one step towards as powerful as we are. So they will go about neutering us in these little ways because they're pathetic little pieces of shit themselves.
Yeah.
They're gonna take
Oh, exactly. We know that. They're like, honestly, fucking terrified. I mean,
and then people like us get together. The energy
the
of
thing
this,
this is how this is how bonkers they are. Yeah. If they want to take the world population down to X amount, who's going to clean all the shit up that they've made?
Right. Let's
clean
make
them
that
up. They are the shit.
So they
you
go, well, they go, oh, it's only us now, brilliant, blah blah. Well, who's going to clear all your shit up? And then all the shit that's here, you give them another, say, a few thousand years, and the planet will fuck because the fact of they wiped everybody out. It's all fucking gone fucking tits up. They couldn't clear it up themselves. They're dead themselves.
So they're actually fucking it up for themselves.
For themselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
It is bonkers.
But they are the ones creating the problems. You think the 1% create starving, the 1% create wars, the 1% create big pharma and addiction to drugs. They create every single fucking thing that ails us in modern society, and I mean everything. As soon as people realize every single thing is planned and mishandled because they love mishandling stuff because it means randomly they'll fuck over so many different people. And then here's all us humans just battling to keep going and be by, help each other as much as we can. But once people realize the 1% created every fucking thing that we are being blamed for, we are being blamed for it. It's like, but what about all the
exactly?
Litter? What about the litter? Well, who decided to fucking produce plastic? Not us. Who decided to push all this?
Corporate.
You don't have enough time. So let's, at the shops, you don't have enough time. So let's pre-cut your
can't blame us. It's corporate.
Yeah. Then you go,
grapes,
global warming. At the end of the day,
but it's a GMO. We don't want that.
It's like global warming. All it is last of the ice age finishing. It's simple as that. It's the last of the ice age, which is finishing, and then it'd be a lovely warm planet again.
Yeah.
Right.
The dinosaurs did really well on it for like millions of years, and it's nice and warm for them.
Tropical.
The universe has been heating up for scientists have known that the universe has been heating up from the center, the center as far as they call it, the center. So every single thing has been heating up for some time now. So the weird part is that they keep trying to tell us that it's icing over. Isn't it funny? They always go the opposite of what things are.
Yeah.
So it's like it's icing over and it's like, well, it's not. And you can't have a planet without being affected by everything else around it. It just doesn't function. Everything's vibratory, right? So it all affects each other.
Yeah, because it's like the ice caps are melting and all these beautiful animals that were frozen into it are there. So it was lovely and warm before, and the animals and the plants thrived. Yeah. All this is it's the end of the ice age. And then it'll go through a full cycle again.
The end of the ice age in our brains.
I think what they're worried about it's like once the ice caps unrelease, it punches, whoo, and they were full, and then obviously free, and it'll start freezing again. So once that ring of ice around the outside releases, then glaciers, whoop, it's like the fridge going on to deep freeze again. They'll punch into the sea, freeze up, blah blah blah, and then then all of a sudden they've lost a lot of land. It was like, oh, do you know what I mean? It's like, what are we going to do now? Because all the power and control is in a central belt going around the planet, really.
Well, here's the thing. Anyone on the negative, the numbers are very small. That's what we need to remember. The numbers are very small of the putrid vermin, as I call them, putrid evil vermin, because then it doesn't depict an animal or anything like that. They're such a small number, but it's like, you know, being able to make yourself seem bigger than you are, and they're very good at it. Like, it's like it's like the Maasai warriors, do you know, like where they get in a tree and they walk together arm in arm, and they can walk right up to a lion that's just brought down a wildebeest or whatever. They can walk up and they can cut whatever they want off the beast. The lion will move away because the lion thinks that they are one entity, that they are one being.
Wow.
So all that they do is spread out and become a bit bigger, and they can walk up, they cut a leg off or whatever, and then they thank them and do the right thing, and then they walk away and the lion comes back. So the same thing, you know, we're very basic and instinctual. We should never have to be combative and in, you know, fight zone all the time. But they are very good at making themselves look very big. But they're not. They're very small. If they were big and powerful, they'd have fucking killed us off years ago. We wouldn't be breathing air. They would have fucked us off years ago. That is.
We laser right now where we sit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They need our energy to create with, because they can't create anything themselves.
They need our ignorance. They need our ignorance and our apathy and our
we're like batteries.
Laziness. Yes, they need us.
And that's why I took you back to that point. And do you want to do that? Do that point when that point we spoke about? So it's like we spoke about this about the keys. There's a point in time. Don't matter when a point in time is. There's a point of a first point of whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, there was a good time and bad time. Yeah. Now we've had good times and bad times in relationships and life and everything else. There's good time and bad time. Yeah. But that good time, bad time. So somewhere in the point of who we are, there was a permanently good time. Because the universe is a beautiful place and it can't be created by negative souls, otherwise it destroys itself at the beginning. So there's a point where of our journey, there's a good time and a bad time. So basically wherever that point is, the first ever point of good time, bad time, you put yourself back on that good time, and you lock yourself onto that good time, and you close the door on all them different tracks of bad times, and you pull all that back in. So you pull in all that negative of the bad times and you put it all back in, and you put that back around you, on your good time, and you take all that negative, whatever it is, and then they create the beautiful around you with it.
Like white light.
You can't create beauty without the negativity. Yeah. So you take all of that negativity and then create the beautiful around you on that good time. And then then it's gone. Because you took control of it. By just moving away and then putting yourself into a good time, all them bad times and all them energies and all them train tracks going different directions are still there. You've not took control of it. So it's not a case of running away from all the negative and everything else. It's just a case of good time, bad time. So you put yourself back on the original good time where it's always been good. You put yourself on that time and you lock yourself on it, and you take all the bad times, which is the negative, and you put that on that point, and then you create the beauty out of the negative around you. And then you took control of it. And no one else can use it. And it also puts you at that point of the universe where we all are, and pulls it all back into that point.
And uses it all up.
And uses it all up and create the beautiful out of the negative. Bush.
That's choosing,
every weekend we use
quantum. Is that right? Like choosing your quantum path. You're coming back from random quantum, and you're just choosing a quantum tunnel, a one to go into. You're cleansing yourself
random points. Yeah. All the random points of your life are the points of where everything is great. Random is spot on. So every party you've been to is a random party. It's always the best party. because nothing's planned. Random points work.
A treat.
A treat.
Every time.
When we've been on the journeys, we're like, fucking hell, that's random.
It's never planned.
It's never planned. Yeah. So
that's why we can never tell anybody beforehand, because we never know.
We never know. So random points work. Yeah. It's because it can't be predicted. It's like dun 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 dun. If somebody can predict you, they can control you. But if you lock yourself on to, every point is a random point, you bring random points back onto that point and lock yourself on. And
live your whole life in utter randomness.
Utter randomness. You can't be, you're not predictive. You're not this, you're not that. You like
it keeps you safe.
It keeps you safe. Random points.
Random, yeah, random. I like the word too, isn't it? Random.
Yeah.
Yeah. Random points stops you being predictable. If you leave your life on random points, no one knows where the fuck you are. Even we don't.
Yeah.
Well, where are we now? I don't know.
Well, but random would represent
random points. Yeah. But random points have a
you're in the moment, right?
And random. When we've been doing on the journeys, we deal with random points, and it's like random points belongs to us. Let's put it like that.
What'd you just say? You cut out then. Random point belongs to
random us. The random points belong to us. It's stepping stones.
Belong to us.
We know what they are and where they are, because all random points are great times. Yeah. Every party you go to, if it's planned, it's shit. You go to one and it's just a random party, it's a brilliant party.
Yeah.
Well, no one has an emotion.
Yeah. You're like, fucking hell, that weren't planned. You plan something, it's shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you go to a wedding, it's shit. You go to a funeral, it's usually quite good because it's like you don't expect it. It's fucking true though.
You can have a commitment to random. I mean, I'm sort of thinking about how powerful that is, you know, like, well, random.
It's the way to go.
Yeah. It's the way to go. Well, random points is our points of access. Maybe it's jump points. Yeah, that's why
maybe that's what keeps us safe. That's what has kept us safe throughout everything.
Just these random points, and these random points is us. Yeah. So like Australia, all different parts of the world, we're all at random points, but all singing the same tune.
It feels good random too when you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Random.
Yeah.
It feels always more. It's more fun.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, maybe you're 14, 15, you're hanging with your friends. You're so fucking random. It should be your name, right? Where are you going? No. What's happening? Don't know. We're just fucking going.
Yeah. And it's fucking brilliant, isn't it? Like, fucking wicked time. What happened? I don't know. It fucking just happened.
Yeah.
And be like, anything you plan, shit. Yeah. Anything that you don't plan is fucking wicked.
Get together and go. That's why it works.
Yeah.
We don't plan.
So it's always random points.
It's all random.
Yeah, we ain't got a fucking clue.
Well, also random, people can't come and hang any shit on it. They can't hang their problems on it, their whatever, their expectations. So random is sort of a bit fleeting as well. You know, it's a bit like, can't
it is.
Elusive.
Yeah. And you're not there anyway because you're on a random point somewhere else. So you're not on the last few sort of journeys we've been on, we've touched on it before, but we did have quite a lot of these random points. And basically, and it was funny actually because there's 33 random points. There's 33 abracadabras within one abracadabra. So there's 33 random points within it. So it was shown to us that there's originally 33 of us as who we are as a family. It's 33, and there's an abracadabra for each one of us. And the original family of the 33, which is all of us, all come together as one abracadabra.
Abracadabra wrist.
The
most
there's 33, weren't there? There's 33. There's 33 abracadabras that all locked together as one. That's why I was fucking fuming that time when my mate come to the window. Somebody I know came to my window we're recollecting lost souls, and he came to the window. Remember I was talking about, and he actually was stinking. I couldn't bear the smell of the rock because it just come off the bottom of the sea. And I'm like, mate, you stink. And I couldn't bear it. And it's like looking at the window, and it's an old sailor. It was like the sailor had been stuck at the bottom of the sea. And I could have brought everybody back. I was like, my God. He was standing at the window. And I was like, fucking hell, mate, you stink. I don't know what to do with you. Honestly, the smell of like rot. And it was coming through to the window because the energy's coming through. And I'm like, oh God, I'm covered in it. I can't bear it. Honestly, it's awful. And I said to the energy, just get him out of there where we are. I said, put him somewhere. So I called upon I said to the conscience of the universe, I says, could you collect these lot because they stink and put them up there out the way and put them back on the point, before it all went wrong, so they could get the form back. So they took them away. Then next thing you know, he's at the fucking window going, it worked. I went, I know it fucking worked, but now you're back down here again, stinking the fucking place out. Oh my God, the smell. And then I was like, fuck me. So then I said, right. I said to the energy guys, the weavers, they create everything. I said, any chance you can sort this out? So anyway, off they went. So they made a copy of my mate, and put him back into the conscious universe. Did a copy so we could do the work, putting everything back in place. What happened? The energies that came out from the sofa to create everything then come back into the sofa. So my sofa was stinking of like rot. I was like,
times 33.
I went mental. I said, I can't believe you lot have just come back into here and then come back into the sofas and stuff and stunk the fucking sofa out. I said, I can't even sit on the sofa. I said, it was just stinking. And I was sitting on it going, it still smells. I said, what the bloody hell? And then I realised that it was in the sofa, wasn't it? Like, fuck it out. You couldn't smell it, could you?
I couldn't smell it, thank God.
So we got now smelly ghosts, So like it was just like the physical form, and you stink as well. It was in my paws, my hands were all sticky with it. It was awful, wasn't it? Then the energy of like,
smell it, so
I was like, then the energies went. I could feel stuff crawling underneath my skin. I was like, fuck, and I went, there's parasites we've got to deal with. I'm like, fuck's sake, man. So I had to sit there on this table with these parasites. I could see them underneath my skin. And I was working out how much energy poison to give them to kill them. Yeah. So I sat there, and then you sat there, you had them as well. So we both sat there with the energies working out how to poison the parasites, which is weird.
You could feel them all wiggling
inside your
skin, and
it was like your bum, it was in everywhere. And it was like
horrible.
And we're like, so we're sitting there for I don't know, fuck knows how long, while they worked out what sort of energy they had to give them, like a poison to kill them, so that it was all gone. I was like, great. Well, thinking guinea pigs yet again.
Right in the middle of it all.
Right in the middle of it. And I was like, and I went, you got to do something with the smell. I said, I can't bear being in the house. I said, fucking the whole house fucking stinks. Do something with it. So recode it, do something with it, because obviously everything in the house stunk. So they decided to use the Planet Purple smell. It's a type of perfume. So they pumped that into everything, but it was all right, but it killed the Planet Purple perfume because you could smell that over the top of it, couldn't you? I went fucking nuts. I went, what the fuck? You know what I mean? I said, are you lot fucking mental? Didn't it? I went mad, didn't I? But then I realised it was for a reason, so I had to say sorry at the end of it, but there he goes.
Yeah, and you're dealing with weavers at the same time that like the smell of wee, so
fucking hell, yeah. They're a type of energy, and they're part of the Abracadabra, and they're like an energy, and they're the ones that they weave the format through space and time, which connect everything. But
they're like those little. There was a Twilight Zone that was like that, where there were little people that went in and made like if you were going to walk into a room, there would be nothing there until you walked in, and all these little, they look like Oompa Loompas in white overalls, would make the room before you would walk in, and then when you leave, they disassemble the room. So it would,
yeah, these are these guys. They built a church around us one day. There was a group of them that we rescued and brought back, and then they sort of like they sort of like manifest themselves back into the sofa to keep them safe. So the sofa just becomes loads of eyeballs because all these weavers and the eyeballs come out. Like wicked eyes.
Yeah.
And so the whole sofa is covered in eyeballs, all looking at you, and they manifest themselves out of the sofa.
But the eyeballs are gorgeous. They're like stars, aren't they?
And the cry as well, because what they said, we're not seeing you for. Where have you been? So we're showing them on the computer, because it's almost like when we're in there, the computer stores the information. So I said, have a look in there. And because of what we've been going through, they started to cry, and they're like little tears coming down. Because don't cry, like little pearl tears. But they can wee as well, and they're like they're brilliant, but the funniest fuck. Yeah. I said to them one day, I found where the weavers are. There was in a graveyard. I could see them in the trees. They were trapped in the trees and trapped in everything. I said, I know where they are. And I remember going to this tree in the graveyard. As I went to touch the tree gave me like pricked the end of my finger, but it filled it full of like these bubbles of water out of the tree. Didn't it? Remember? I stood there and it went into my finger. Then I exchanged my energy with it. So I squeezed into my fingers. So these bubbles went back into the tree, but I kept one of them. So when I went back home, I said, I'm going to squeeze it out, and this little bubble come out. The weavers manifest themselves around me. They manifest around me. They always want to be dogs. They love being dogs. Back in the day, if it resonates with me, we used to call them space rats, because they look like little voles. That was their form. Space rats, and they used to get fucking well upset about the space rat. They used to take it quite personally, but they always wanted to be dogs. So literally, I'd be sitting there, and they manifest themselves into dogs, and the dogs would come out the floor, the thingy, and they love chocolate. I was just sitting there feeding them chocolate, which is great, yeah. So I'd be sitting there feeding them chocolate, and you feel their energy is quite like little teeth, and you'd be feeding them chocolate, and you can see the chocolate going through the energy of these little dogs. The only thing is, at the end of the weekend, right? Yeah. Now then, they've gone, but now I've got chocolate all over the fucking sofa. Because I was like, oh no. So we've got to clean the sofa because it's chocolate and biscuits, but little lines where they've been eating and the thingy. And then when there's this there's like a dinosaur energy that came to attack us. It was like, whoa. Wasn't it? And I was sitting there on the floor. I looked at the floor and I could see the imprint of this dinosaur thing, and I could feel the energy coming up my leg. I'm like, fucking hell! I could see this energy coming up, and I was buzzing my fucking tits off. I went, fucking hell! I said, that fucking. So I said to the energy people, I went, is this fucking normal? Because it looks like a dinosaur that's imprinted itself into the carpet and it's coming up my leg. Next thing you know, fucking it was Operation fucking get the dinosaur out. All these energies come down and pinned it to the floor, and because we had a fake wooden floor, you could see the dinosaur in the actual fake wooden floor. It took the form out of it, and they dragged it off, didn't they? And got rid of it.
Yeah, do tests on it.
And do tests on it. And anyway, the weavers come back, went, no problem, we've sorted the problem out. They managed to get a bit of this energy away from it, and they was doing tests to see what killed dinosaur energy. And apparently it was bananas. Right? Okay. So
yes, of course,
random.
They're so sinister.
Random. Yeah. Their favorite color is yellow. And then they tried to look about a banana in the house. Anyway, they went and got the bananas and then to convert it into an energy, and they pushed it all through us. This banana,
all through us,
to
keep us safe,
to protect us from dinosaur energy. It was to do with bananas. So when it boiled down to it, and we dealt with this energy and it gone, I realised who it was. I used to call him George and Mildred. There's just like it was the first ever two dragon dinosaur energies that was forced to do wrong. They didn't want to do it. So they were forced to do it. They didn't want to do it. So they
actually got to the point where they couldn't actually live with themselves any longer because of what they'd been made to do, and they wanted to end it, free to end it all, and they knew the only way to end it was to
come and see us.
come and make it look like they were going to attack us.
But they didn't.
But they
So
didn't actually.
anyway, what it was, it's
It's really sad.
it was
I cried my eyes
the
out.
energies used to, when we used to do things, the energies used to open like a Dropbox underneath us with 2 parallel lines in it. So they used to open the Dropbox with 2 parallel open lines. So when it used to go in to the box, bang, not relevant to and from, gone, boosh. So I sat there and I went, I know this sounds daft, and even the energies were going, because they're like, but I know who that is, and I'm going to re-release that energy back out, because I know who that was. So I released the energy back out, opened the box, all the energy came back out again, came to us, wrapped itself around us, and it was our old ancestors that was forced to do wrong, didn't want to do it, was forced to do, didn't, and then came to us because we could end it and then give rebirth to them. They went off to look after the children. That's all I know. They went off to look after the children. So, and then there's also other different energies, or
that had also been made to do
wrong, and they knew where they were. So we took a drop box to them and opened them up and released them as well. And they all went off to look after kids, which is amazing. So they went off to do that, didn't they? All the energy was like, woo. But then they used to give us the dinosaur energy, or the dragon energy. Fucking hell. Best drug I've ever fucking had. Honestly. Fucking off my fucking rockers. I like, if this is Tyrannosaurus Rexy energy, I fucking love it. It's fucking brilliant. Honestly, they give us this energy and you can feel it go through your body. They just put it in and you can feel it go through and you go, whoa, fucking hell. And I'd go off on one for fucking days. I'm like, my God, this is amazing. But you used to like the moon dust.
The moon dust is my favourite.
They used to give us a moon dust.
Proper gives you the giggles.
Fuck it, you're sitting there.
Giggles.
And all of a sudden you get fucking really hot. You go, fucking hell. Because the weavers can make anything they want, right? So I'd see them, because what they do, they manifest themselves, in cushions and stuff. So the cushions then take form of different faces and stuff. And different like things. And you see them in there. And I'd be like, you fuckers. What they was doing, they had like a little switch. So they
wait for you to sit back in the cushion.
No.
And then they press the switch.
And then
and it gives you like moon dust.
And also you're sitting there and you go, fucking I'm getting hot. you go really hot with it, you go, fucking I'm sweating fucking tits off. And all of a sudden you get back in the day, when we were travelling around doing what we're saying, we used to call it fuzzballed. So when we'd had too much of this moon dust, your head gets fuzzballed. You just absolutely don't know what you're fucking talking about. Don't know what you're fucking being like. What the fuck are you doing? Fuzzballed. So if anybody wants to, I can't meditate. I've got no chance. But I'm too fidgety. But it was fuzzballed. So when you had too much of this moon dust, you end up fuzzballed. And we used to be sitting there going, fucking hell. Bearing in mind, we've not had anything else. We did. We have what we have to get us into the zone, but after that, we're getting supplied it. Moon dust, that fucking, and you just go really hot, and then you go, fuck it up.
This was.
Yeah, and when I was doing something with the energy, it's a really important thing. Next thing you know, they've gone click, click, oh, fucking idiots. Fucking.
It's right when you, like, everything's all of a sudden gone serious, and you really got to concentrate on whatever it is that's going on.
And then fuzzball,
and then all of a sudden, the
boom.
rapture.
And then. Remember that time I was like that? This is when the dragon energy or dinosaur energy. I was sitting there like that, and all of a sudden I was blending energy. Next, I seen like almost like going up. I don't know if you can see the veins in my arm. It was like going up the veins in my hands, and I could see a dinosaur imprint going up and up and up and up. I went, is that some sort of fucking dinosaur fucking energy or something? And they're like, yeah, we're just testing it. I'm like, oh, okay. Fuckers. And it pushed all my veins out the way, so it imprinted like a dinosaur energy in my veins, isn't it? And you can see it.
Yeah.
So I call that the fairy one. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's like a fairy.
Yeah, I can see it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they push it in there, and I'm watching all my veins being pushed out of my arm. I'm like, they says, yeah, it's been used for wrong, and we want to see how it fucking operates. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me. I tell you what, I said, fucking hell. I was like, I'm buzzing my fucking tits off. Isn't it? I said, how much? By the end of it, I was like,
any more?
I said, how much of this stuff have we got? And went loads. I went, thank fuck for that. and then we had the initiate. The thing is, it's better than it's honestly fuck mushrooms. I fuck any drug I can think of. Yeah, it's moon dust, right, and
Moon dust and
dragon energy.
Yeah.
Fuck. The one day it was almost like we got sprinkled in the dragon dust. It was very red, greens, fucking all different colour, fucking like almost energy, but it was like bits of metal as well. It's like metally energy, and they fucking we scattered with it, didn't we? All over her legs and that. I'm like, what the fuck's that? Next thing you know, I couldn't fucking walk, and I was like, fucking hell. I was like, I feel quite aggressive as well. You know what I mean? But happy about it. I'm like, and it was dragging. It was fucking, wasn't it? It's like fucking hell. But you can actually see it soaking your skin. Like I went, what's that? Because they don't tell you, don't know. It's because you've got the communication is quite like that. And then you say, what the fuck's all this? And you're like, I can't even fucking walk. And it's like, fucking hell. But isn't it? But honestly, these energies beat.
We had some of that when we went on our northern picnic.
Oh yeah.
That we had some dragon energy then.
Yeah. It's like it's when you look at it, it's quite metally. So it's like soaks into your skin. It's like, well, yeah, fuck it. But it's almost like a burn when it lands on you. And it's like greens and reds and all different vibrant colours, all like neons. And it hits your skin, and you're like, fucking, you feel it burn through, don't you? But ooh, and then the next thing you're like, ooh, fucking hell, best lock the doors, we can't go out like this.
Oh God.
Fucking hell.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, fucking wicked. Yeah. So honestly, so yeah, moon energy. Yeah. Moon dust, as I call it. Dragon energy or dinosaur energy. Fucking wicked. Yeah, it's all of that. Yeah. It beats.
Give it a go.
I wish really honestly, if you fucking get your hands on it, you make a fucking fortune.
Ask the universe for it.
Yeah.
Ask the weavers that are around you.
Oh my God. Yeah, the fuckers, don't they?
Because there's bound to be weavers around all of you.
Weavers.
Ask them to press the button.
Yeah. It's almost like the weavers create the universe, and we're all created at the same time. We're created at the same time as the weavers and the energy. It was all created at the same time. It was all created this physical form we've had forever. And the weavers thingy. So because they always sort of like put themselves down or not think of thinking. And I went, but then when I went to, you are the guys that built all this fucker in the fucking first place. And they're like, no. I went, you are. And they're like, are we? They put themselves down. They're like, well, no, you know. I went, you're like, and then they're like, are we? And then that's it, the fuckers. If you give me a bit of confidence. that one with the tree, I went like that. I said, I found my ancestor on, I squeezed the thingy. Next thing, the sofa starts expanding, going out, and they start and then they start building themselves. Next thing you know, you can see like little figures of like little figures with little rucksacks on the back and fucking walking sticks and fucking and they're off. Fucking brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're sitting in catapults being shot somewhere. I mean, you're not fucking nuts. But they can take any form on they want. But they also, the part of the Abracadabra Clock, they weave the universe and everything in it. Very, 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 very clever, aren't they? And that's where I think the energy guys come from and everything else. Everything stems something to do with the weavers. I call them the weavers or space rats. Yeah, which goes back a long time. They're like, they always want to be dogs. I'm like, how come you can make wicked energy dogs? And you cuddle and you stroke them. They're a different form of energy. They're quite you know, like snobs that you used to get years ago. You know them, like little crosses. You know them.
The game.
The game. Was it called snobs?
Yeah, it was called snobs.
And you just throw things up, and they're like, they look like that, all different tessellations.
Throw them up and grab a thing and catch them again.
Well, they could tessellate themselves, and it's a different type of energy, quite a rigid form of energy. You can actually sit stroking them, you know what I mean? But then they can turn themselves to a snake and attack you just for a laugh. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's fucking funny. They can turn themselves into absolutely anything. They're brilliant, aren't they? You know? Yeah. You went to bed one day. I'm going to have a lie down while I carry on what I was doing. Fucking hell, they all jumped on you and fucked off the bed because they couldn't have a sleep. Yeah. Oh, well, all right. Fucking off they go. Yeah, you give them an inch, right, and they're fucking gone. It's because we got past the space, the moon dust, to help us on one of the journeys. It was an old drug that we used to do back in the day. And they got their hands on it, didn't they? And next thing you know, they're fucking
making forms with it.
I came downstairs one day. I went, fucking hell, what? I said, the fuckers, what? I said, they're doing the carpet now. Because they used to like impregnate it from the sofa sitting on into you, like. Then I caught them on the upstairs and they're fucking doing the carpet. I'm fucking walking downstairs, cunts.
Cutting the carpet with it.
So it's going the carpet. So the carpet then was activated, but this space dust, so I'm absolutely fucked just on the carpet now. I so wish that people could see the weavers and what they do. They are us, yeah, and we are them, yeah. And they weave Abracadabra. They weave it all. I mean, they can take any form within all of that, and we're all created at the same time. And that's who we. I think that's who we are as an energy. The weaver side of it, they can manifest. They can manifest themselves into anything that they want to manifest themselves into. It's wicked.
So they're like co-create with the universe in a way.
Yeah, honestly, they've got better clothes than what I've got. I'm like, where do you get your fucking clothes from? Fucking, I've got fucking. I mean, like fucking brilliant, aren't they? I'm like fucking, innit? I was like, fucking hell. Where do you go shopping? You know what I mean? Like,
very dapper.
Oh yeah, honestly, and they can make themselves into anything. One minute it could be this big, and then they'll be touching the holding the sky up. Yeah. They come with families, they come with children, they come with animals, pets, this, that, and everything else.
They make themselves into cowboys or
Egyptians or whatever, or just for a laugh, a big snake coming through, and then they go
giant,
or a giant, yeah,
spaceman, or a workman,
yeah, a workman, yeah. They're outside with fucking work jacket, work gear on. They're American, hard hats and stuff, and blah blah. And I'm like, how dangerous is this energy you're messing around with them? Because like, how come you got this safety gear? We got fuck all. You know what I mean? But it's fucking mental, isn't it?
Maybe they're the manifestation.
There is.
When we listen to you talk, to me, maybe it's the way of teaching people that, you know, these little weavers are exact, because, you know, we need examples of stuff. We work well, our brains do, if we get an example. Yeah. So the weavers are an example of, to me, the power of a human when we're flipped on and switched on and zapped up, right? When we're using all of our brains, that we can create at will ourselves, not just create something outside of ourselves like $1 million or a car or a boat or whatever, but we can change ourselves in time, in space, in size, in impotence even.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, because they work in reflective light, so they can take a reflection from inside the room and then create something on the outside of it. So if you've got to reflect,
and actually use it as like a
tool or to stand on. So when you're looking outside your patio window and you have that reflective of a fireplace or whatever, and you see it in the window, but it looks like it's outside, they can take that reflective light and then use it to stand on and use it for other things. And move it around, just to take it to pieces. It's like, all right, fucking blows my fucking mind how you lot fucking do that.
Cool.
And other energy is like, I can't get my head around it neither. But so you see that this consciousness of the universe, yeah, you got consciousness of the universe that we're working with, and then these guys we're working with, and it blows the consciousness of the universe's mind how it works. I always say, where do you live? But where for? They live in the clouds. They live out there somewhere, and they've got their own who they are. They're a real
community.
Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when we do things, they've got the whole family outside, the kids and everything else.
Yeah, the animals and everything.
Animals, yeah. They're just like
family day out.
Yeah, yeah. And then they're going to go as fucked up as you like, and they're just like, oh my fucking god. I mean, it's like, yeah. And then they're just like,
maybe we can use. I was just thinking, right? We're not always around something reflective, right? Because I've got that picture of, like, you know, you just said about the fireplace. There's one in your house. There's the one in the reflection. But I wonder if that's where we can summon energy. I wonder if reflections are not quite as powerful, but they're an energy that we can alchemize. Maybe I can see a chair and its image out here. Maybe I can draw from that and turn that into.
I think it's our energy reflecting out there, so we can see it reflecting out there, working out there, and it's almost like we're about to take this solid form on to protect the energies that can't protect themselves from this solid form that was coming along to damage them.
Right.
So this solid form out there, we've took on this form to protect the energies that can't protect themselves, because they can't even sit on a sofa without fucking falling through it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just so it's like this solid form has to protect the energies that can't protect themselves from a solid form that was attacking them or coming to attack them. We're there to protect them, because we can stand there and go.
Isn't there a lot of that now? People saying, you know, like, I know I'm a soul that came here to be on Earth at this point in time, to be part of the, evolution. I suddenly my brain went really expansive then, and I thought, come back. I'm here. We're on video. We can't go and
the thing is, it's like not special to us. If you're with us when we're on one of our travels, I mean, like a bit of a party first, the energy goes up, and you end up involved with it. And you're like, what the fuck is going on there, mate?
Yeah, the right time, space thing.
Yeah. So, like, it's not just us. If you're with us and we're on one of our journeys, you'll be like, what the fuck's all this? Well, I've been telling you.
Yeah. Are you booking your seat, Terry? I am.
You'd be like that. I'll sit there and you'll be like that. You know what I mean? I'm like,
what the fuck?
I don't know. I've never seen that one before. The bastards. Because these things took, you know what I mean? It's like this. It's like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably like that. Oh, go give you a kiss. And they come and give you a big juicy kiss on your lip. Yeah, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
very loving, aren't they?
They're in your goodie bag as well. Little fingers are in your goodie bag. I love that.
And your food.
And your food.
Food on the telly. And
food on the TV. So the same as us. They get tired as well. Do you know what I mean? They get hungry.
This is very Doctor Who, isn't it?
Yeah.
This could be a Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Doctor. Thing is, now when we watch stuff like that, it seems quite boring because do you know what I mean? It's like fucking hell.
Especially the last series.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it is though, because obviously the stuff that we see and what goes on, and it's like,
hey, I'm just going to ask you
something. Take some sort of special program, isn't it? We can...
I'm going to circle back to something that you said before, and I thought that'd be really good to say. It was the thing. When you first said it in the other abracadabras, I was just like, oh, it's the I can't even remember now. The been done, gone. What was it? Where you send it back to nothing. I just can't even remember the word.
Yeah, nothing. Safe place. Safe place.
Safe place.
Yeah.
No, it was
it's nothing.
Where you're from, where you're to. If you don't have a from,
relevant to and relevant from. Relevant to and relevant from. Everything's relevant to and from, whatever. So when we're ever doing something or whatever, I always send it to whoever, wherever, relevant to and from.
No, it was
So
a different. It was
everybody gets it that needs to get it, and the wrong ones don't.
No,
I can't.
A place and a stop and a start. Shit, what was it? I knew I should have remembered to say you were right in the middle of the clock.
Yeah. When I realised about the nothing, it's because we've been doing everything and going through these permutations and this and that and these different stories. And then one weekend I went, oh my God, I've got nothing to talk about. I went, really? I've got nothing at all. Nothing. I went, nothing. Oh my God, nothing. Got it.
Zero.
To understand nothing, you have to know absolute everything about the something to understand the nothing.
It's the other part of the equation. In order to find the middle ground, you've
yeah,
got to go to both extremes, right?
Yeah, and then you got to know about absolutely about something to understand the nothing exists and what the nothing is. I was like, right, what's something to talk about now? Right now, years later.
Yeah.
But you see the nothing and the something and the safe place is the same thing. It's why we put all the wrong ones in the nothing or safe place. It's the same thing. So when you want to hide something from somebody, you go, well, I'm going to put it in a safe place and keep that safe. When you're looking for it, you never ever find it. So you take a solid item, put it in a safe place, and then do it in there, and then you can strip that whole room to fucking pieces, and you never fucking find it. It's gone. Finished. Forever.
Place safe.
Yeah. You put it in a safe place, yeah. But when you put it in a safe place, what you're actually doing is you go, right, subconsciously you're going, right, I want to put it in a safe place. So you go through every format of somebody that knows you or whatever that could come in and look at that particular place, feeding off your energy of where you would hide something or put something. So you actually go the place where you put it is a point where your energy knows it's a safe place. So you put it in there. Yeah, you put a solid item, you put it into that particular point. Yeah, and then you go looking for it. Week, 2 weeks later, it's fucking gone. You rip the whole room to pieces, fucking gone. You think, fucking hell. And then you start talking to other people globally. It's a global phenomenon. You put it in a safe place, and you'll never find it ever again. It's gone. It's because you take it out of reality and put it into a non-reality. Yeah, and then put it into that point, that physical item fucking disappears.
Shame we can't do that with other things.
It's not relevant to or from. You've taken it out of relevance, relevant to and from, because you put it into a safe place and it's gone. But you put it into the nothing.
That's it.
Nothing.
To and from. Relevant to and from.
Relevant to and from. And you put it into the nothing. Yeah, in the safe place. Because you put it into the point of the story that's not actually happened yet. So because the story's not happened yet, it's not here, right now. It's gone.
Right. So you can sort of like just move it out of time.
You can manifest things and you can demanifest things as well.
Back into nothing, to which it
back into the nothing before the story started. But that's our point. Yeah, that's the random points. Dum, 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 fuck you.
Well, that shows how powerful thought is, right? I mean, I'm always banging on about thought. Everything's a thought first. Then it's an emotion, then it's an action, then it's a reaction, blah, blah, blah. And thought is the activator. Thought is like the generator for everything. Why is, the bad guys trying to control our thought? It's always the thought, because thought precedes everything. You'll go into the actions afterwards. So thought will always be the place where I think that's the fork in the road. You talk a lot about forks in the road, or, coming back to a positive. I think the big combustion point here is about, you need to approach here. Every human needs to start really thinking with this and understand that, fuck, I can actually manifest.
Sneaky aliens.
I watched this Lucy video, and this guy was manifesting things out of fucking nowhere. And it's like, people need to know we can do this.
Yeah, and then also you've got to be careful, because we've been manifesting these for this whoever they are for so long, as I think, as a test. And the test is, worst case scenario, if you give a species enough go at it, what would they do? How far would they go? And then when you get to the end of it and they've run out of negativity, that is like a health and safety book, so it can never happen again in the future.
So you've got every single thing that could ever go wrong.
Which
and that full knowledge makes sure it never happens.
Where the tests.
Yeah. So the thing is what we seem to forget as well. We try to manifest something which we've been doing for a very long time, which I think we've been writing a health and safety manual for the future to move into this new universe of positivity, and the whole universe is driven by positivity and expanding positive future
with the full knowledge of anything
that can go wrong, because we own it.
We
own what can go wrong. Yeah. So then we've used all the negative up.
Is power.
Yeah, we've used all the negative up. We own it. We then create the positive out of the negative. Then we can open up the universe for expanding future of positivity to move forward. So it's a case of demanifest them motherfuckers onto their point, and bye-bye. We're trying to manifest a way out of it, which we've already worked out the path and the road before we left. So demanifest them motherfuckers, put them into the health and safety book, into the safe place, and bye-bye.
That would be a good topic, demanifesting. I'm thinking about the general public that are wanting to learn things, how to move forward, how to, what's the next step?
You've got to go back before you can move forward.
We should really do a video on this, I think, from a really being sort of more responsible and thinking about, okay, if people are going to watch this, what other really practical things have been born of this, these calls? What other really cool things would arm people to do stuff? And look, to be able to destabilize that control in your life, in your mind, and make it go the fuck away, that's another really powerful tool for people, isn't it? They can then go off and go, I saw this stupid guy in a video and he said, and then they do it. And it's a way of, you don't have to, the person doesn't have to be combative with whatever they want to get rid of. It's just go through this process, like demanifest, and it's all in your own house. You don't even need to leave. It does cost no money. You don't need anyone's fucking say so. You don't need anyone looking at nothing. It's just power, and any age, any gender, any religion can do this.
You don't even need to know who or where they are.
It's just the general gist I get is that we've manifested this to give them the best chance possible for them to do the right thing, and they'd sooner die than actually be positive and do the right thing. So it's the end of the story. They've been given all the chances of the universe to actually do the right thing, and they've run out. So basically the permutations have run out. It's done. And so then basically this then becomes a health and safety manual of a universe of what and why and what could happen and what and why if you let this sort of certain species, and you give them power, you give them information, you give them all this technology stuff, which I swear a lot of this stuff we use now is from our ship somewhere. I swear it.
Wherever it goes,
and we gave them all of this, and they still use everything for wrong. Now there's only so many permutations of negativity before it runs out. It's the same as the lottery. There's only so many permutations. You put every permutation on, you'll win. There's only so many permutations of negativity until it's all gone. And this has been going on for a very long time, long time. It's almost like a health and safety book of what could and it's like the negative that negative energy that we did, the non-entity. There was a big ooh about that because it is a big that could happen. So everything was like sort of like put into. We've been looking and doing all these things for a safe future, because we know what we're taking into the future, and it can never manifest itself because we own it.
We own testing every single part of a universe
to see if it works,
to tick every single box.
What could go wrong? So all them things that could manifest, we control, so they can't manifest, to move on into a positive universe.
It can't ever happen ever again because we're in full knowledge of it.
We own it.
And I think giving people knowledge is power to know that, and to be able to, because it's going to take everyone. I mean, the universes will change, right? I mean, we're going to end up in a positive one. But people need to be able to put an end to the bullshit in their own life, and an end to the boogeyman in the back of their mind, or an end to the negativity or the negative ego. They need that choice and that tool and that backing where they can come and find a video and see other people talking about it, so they're not mental. But it too is another tool to just go, right, they have this really fucking powerful thing where they can just stop stuff in their life, and they're just Joe Sixpack down the road, and suddenly he's like done this fucking awesome thing. It's been so powerful that his life just changes from that point on, and all he can do is tell everyone about it, and then of course goes from there.
Because what we have to be careful of, if I keep manifesting this, and this, we're just keeping the fucking thing going even longer.
Keeping the thing going.
Yeah. So by demanifesting back to that original point and understanding it and looking at it differently, it's a health and safety manual or a guide to or everything that could manifest itself out of our control, we own. And then we create the positive out of that and create the beautiful out of it. And we move forward that with the universe and ourselves. Boom, 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 boom. And then we put an end to it. They thrive on fear porn and fucking everything else. We're just manifesting more.
Yeah. But the people who didn't know, they would like to have a choice. There's plenty of people that would go, if you said, if there's a secret thing I could teach you that was withheld from you, that would unlock and you'd be able to do, would you want to know that you have that choice? Well, who the fuck would say no? Everyone's going to say, hell yeah, what's my choice?
The wrong uns that we give this power to would go, no, I'm still going to carry on destroying everything. Do you know what I mean? And it is the same thing.
That's what they can do. That's what
even if they cooled everything down at 95%, yes, we're the elite, who's going to clear it up, and the damage is going to be done, and they'll still fuck themselves in so many thousand years anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a no-win for them.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
And that's the way their brain works. They can't see that.
No, because they don't function on that level. I mean, light and dark can't exist together, right? Light outdoes dark every time. So they can't even look at us. They can't be around us because dark can't look at light, right?
Yeah.
It just can't. It can try its little ass off, but light is just there. Light is the forward, light is the light, right?
I mean, who's going to do the plumbing and who's going to do all the building work for them? Who's going to build all this for them? Who's going to do all that for them? They'll be like,
oh, well, obliterate them.
People like, who's going to build that? Well, I'm not doing it. I'm special. Like, well, I'm not doing it either. Like, fucking hell. That's it. Fucks.
We eliminate them. They all get a
But by his all going, it eliminates them. It's like.
Well, we manifest it because we want it. I don't know if you're aware of a book. It was by Wallace Wattles. It was called The Science of Getting Rich, and it was written, I think, 1906 or somewhere. Anyway, it's about manifesting. Having the right thinking in a certain way. Now, he was talking about how things will change simply by the way our desires as a mass happen. He said, like, if you think about horse and buggy, well, horse, and then there was horse and buggy, then there was cars. Now, we didn't have to say, oh, I hate horse and buggies, the bloody things are this and that. We didn't have to go at it and dislike it and push it away and go, fuck it, we want something better than this. It doesn't happen that way. It evolves in the way where you go, okay, Farmer Joe, he can fill up X amount of milk, drums and move them to wherever. But if he could move further, like the urge to want to move further
move them
is what creates it, right? But that's what generates the need. That's what brings the invention, is the want. If I could get this milk, then my friend down there, they could have some too if I could get there quicker. And that's a very small story and a big step. But eventually they move beyond horse and cart. I mean, there was a time when all of them existed, and they still do. So we don't need to reject or push against things. Some people think they do, a lot of activists, and they've got to push.
But the more you talk about something, the more you manifest in it.
Yeah, well, if anybody out there knows why a shipment goes by road and a cargo goes by sea, get back to me, because I can't fucking work that one out.
Wow.
Nice one.
I know the duality. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's some sort of link between maritime law and land law, bringing the two together, locking them together.
That they're opposite.
Yeah. Because
and one
it don't make any sense
on land.
Yeah.
Yes. Highly illegal.
So it's like you're bringing the sea onto the land and the land onto the sea. So maybe it's some sort of linking the energy of the two together. Because it's only two things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
but it links maritime, yeah, and it links thinking, and it also links the 80% with the 20% because it's 80-20, 8% water to land, and it gives you the 100%.
Yeah, the balance.
Yeah. And orange as well is a biggie. Orange is the only thing that you can't actually rhyme anything with.
And purple. Orange and purple. And isn't it 11? No, orange, purple. I think there was another one. But orange and purple, yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's a link to our old language. Because it doesn't
they're both sixes, aren't they?
Yeah, because it doesn't link with that language. It's like whoop whoop and out.
Let's put in
because you can't rhyme anything with it.
Orange and purple.
They've both got 6 letters.
They both got 6 letters. There you
Orange
go.
And purple.
They both got 6 letters. Yeah.
The plot thickens. Now
it does it just. Done it. Is it back into the clock again?
Orange and purple.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we touch on a lot of this stuff when we're on the travels, but there's so much other fucking weird shit going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Still got to look into the word anniversary as well.
Anniversary, yeah. It's an anniversary of something good and an anniversary of something bad. It's like, well, okay, what is it?
Any verse. Ari.
We had a quick look at it. It's quite biblical. It's been used quite biblically as a year ending. Here again, anniversary. It's another time clock. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything's a time clock. In Phase and Fable, it actually says in there about you look at time, and it's like he who controls time controls man. That's all it says on it. Yeah, it's about right. So knock time out of your life. It's like
knock anniversaries out of your life.
Yeah, knock anniversaries out of your life. Because it's all the same thing. It's not. And you not.
I just broke it down. Anniversary, like to anniverse. I think you or last week said something about the verse part of it. And if you broke it down enough, you could say it is and I verse awry. And awry is a miss, and a verse is something you're writing. So and I verse awry as I write it wrong. I verse a mistake.
Say it wrong.
Oh, say it wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
Say it wrong.
Oh, wow.
It's the bounce.
It's the bounce. Yeah.
Wow.
Frequency.
Yeah. Is it? What's the middle of the alphabet? It's 24. It's N, isn't it? M. M is the middle of 24 as well. So double M. Yeah. A and double M.
A double N is an M.
Is an M.
Yes, it is.
Anna. It's a lock. It's like a spell that locks you into an alphabet.
Oh, it's not a palindrome.
Got an A point, and the M point, or the M point, double M point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And locks it together.
So yes, Anna.
Yeah.
Is it Anna Domini? Is it?
Yeah. What does that mean? Anno Domini.
Anno Domini.
Yeah.
It's supposed to mean. Oh God, Anno means.
Do you mean infinity? Do you mean infinity?
After Domini.
Yeah, Anno Domini.
Yeah.
It's
Domineering. Domain.
Dominion. Is it after Dominion?
Dominion.
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Does it mean infinity, the start of time? Something to do with that, I think.
Anno Domini. That's what they're.
Anyway, Latin's still spoken in English.
I know.
Isn't it? Can't get your head around that. all that Latin shit, and it's spoken English. Latin. We used to break words as well. You can move words around. So you got the A point, you got an A point. That's where phrase and fable. So if you write phrase and fable, I used to go, what the fuck does that mean? Phrase and fable, as in what it actually means. But here again, if you write phrase and fable, yeah. So if you write it, you write it. Yeah. This is when I knew that book meant so much. Because once I realised that A means everything, A day, A start, it's a start point. Then A was Abracadabra, it's a middle point, it's a switch point, it's a point of a start point. Yeah. So this is how it works, right? So you write phrase and fable. So you start with your A, yeah. So on the phrase, you start with A, right? But you don't put A in. So you put SE, yeah. Then put your A in, and then put your PHR, yeah. Then you plus point in the thingy because that's and. Fable, yeah. Start with your A point, but don't put your A in. It's BLEAF, yeah. What's that spell?
In Pidgin English.
In Pidgin English.
Oh, I missed
See fear and belief.
See what, sorry?
See fear and belief.
Oh, hell. You show us your one again, because I've missed. I think
cheeky. Oh, you.
Yeah. Plus belief. Yeah.
See fear and belief.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd put an extra letter in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah, I have.
No, I haven't. That's
Yeah. So it spells see fear and belief. Might be reverse on it, is it?
Oh,
Mad, isn't it?
You now.
And belief.
SARHP.
See fear.
And belief.
Phrase and fable. Yeah. And that's where we got all the information from, out of phrase and fable. But that's when I realised A was the start point of everything, and that's when the Abracadabra Clock come. So I thought, so I put that into that format, A, see fear and belief. I went, woo, fucking that's well I thought. It's all fragmented. Eh?
I didn't get that one at all. I'm looking at it, I'm spelling it.
Yeah, so right. you write the words down, phrase and fable.
Yeah. Oh, you're using phrase, FR or PH?
No, PHRASE.
Yeah, and fable.
And fable, FABLE.
Yeah.
Then you, on the next line down, then you see in the word phrase, you see there's an A point.
Yeah.
So then you start adding in the letters after the A point. So you start with the S and the E.
A, yes.
Put your A point.
Because you're at the end of that word, you put your A back in.
Right.
And then the PHR. So same with the fable. You look for where the A is, and you start with the letter straight from A. So you put the BLE in. Yep. Then you put the A back in because you're at the end of the word.
Yeah.
And then put the F in. See fear and belief.
And if you put the, it's phrase and fable, well, the and is DNA.
Yeah.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at that.
It's mad, isn't it?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's when I realised A is the start point of everything. Then that's when I got the centre points of the Abracadabra Clock.
It's not DNA. It's NDA.
NDA.
Mm. But it's mad, isn't it? Faith means fear and belief. Now, pH is a physical, which is like, so pH is a value for life. So if you look at pH, it's all about value for life. Yeah, even pheasants ph because it's wealth. It shows wealth and authority and everything. It's ph.
And food.
Food. Pharaohs ph. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, pharmacy.
Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the psychic stuff and everything else is ph. Where f, which is like belief, is to do with churches and stuff and everything else, which is fake. Friend or foe. One's got an F, one's got pH.
No, they haven't.
Belief is also a thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? That's when I realised, woohoo! Fucking yes, A is the point. And that's what that means. And obviously it's all snippets, bits of history.
You start reading everything differently now. I'll be like,
yeah.
oh!
He switches the word round, like, yeah. So, like, if you're reading that, you understand that how it reads, so you can read words a different way because you have to do a switcheroo and see what the real meanings are. Yeah.
And I have to practice though.
Yeah, it's like a Latin, but not a Latin. It's just a code of switching words around to make them work.
We all speak Latin, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's mad. And I was like, oh, you know, 8, right, 8 point, okay. Then the Abracadabra, 8 points, prefix points, boom, 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 and then that was the new book, wasn't it? It was quite new, that book. It was up to date one. And the guy that writes, it's always an ex-reverend that writes the Fable. Yeah, and it's brewers.
And they re-edit it every 10 years.
Now, brewers is the old monks and the old monasteries. It's brewers is owned by the old church fund. That's what brewers means. It's the old monks, it's the old church. It's got church ties. And Fables rewritten every 10 years by an ex-minister or vicar of a church, reverend or whatever. And on the last one that we had, the Millennium one, it was
Adrian Room.
Adrian Room. As in draining the energy out. Adrian Room, his name was. A drained room, as in taking the energy out of a room.
Which is what the churches do.
Yeah. So I was like, woohoo! And then we went looking for, once we realised it was a clock, yeah, we went looking for some old Phrase and Fable. And we found one, was 1930s or something.
I think it was 1933.
Yeah. It was in a bookshop. I went, let's have a look at Abracadabra in here. And I was like, wow.
But it was different.
Yeah, because it was different. And it was also Abracadabra. It was also 365 days of the year as well. I was like, gotcha. It is a fucking clock and they've been fucking hiding it.
I'll be back.
Okay, all right. And that's when I realised.
Hi, darling.
That's when I realised I unpicked all this without knowing that. And then we found the one in the in the bookshop. And it also put in there, it's also relevant to 365 days of the year. So I know it's a calendar, I know it's some sort of clock, blah, blah, blah. And what the church have been doing, they've been taking little bits of history out and rewriting it.
Every 10 years.
Every 10 years to hide the meaning of what something was. That's when I knew. Yeah, that's when I knew it was definitely a clock of some type. Because they've taken out the actual 265 days of the year on the new one, so they're rewriting history and what meanings of words are as time goes on
to
hide it. And anybody going to look for that, they can look at the modern day reference and then go and look at an old one, do it online, and you'll see 365 days of the year. Yeah, and
there's a video out there a guy did called the vowel shift. And it explains about how they were changing the language from the 1600s, how we pronounce things, what we said, how we described stuff. And I thought, oh, that was really interesting. That was really eye-opening to think that such a thing that they would purposely fuck with language.
Yeah.
As part, I mean, once you learn it, you go, well, it makes perfect sense. But when I first saw it, I thought, wow, shit, you really... You're that bad, you're that derisive, you're that evil, you're that pathetic and weenie and scared.
But it's come back to us, you see. Like I said, if there was masters of the universe and they owned everything and they created it and all this fucking bollocks at the record, how come they've lost all this and it's come back to us? It's very careless, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? All this old knowledge that's coming back to us, Well, if those masters of the universe and controlled everything, then how come this has all come back to us and now you lost all this information? You're not that clever, you're not that powerful, because this has all come back to us from somewhere. And I swear blind, it's what we've given to them, and we've given them our physical form, yeah, and it's all like almost different sort of like species from different universities that have been brought here because they're like troublemakers. We gave them our physical form, we gave them all this to try and lead them in the right direction, and then they're still fucked up. So we think that we're the experiment, but they're the experiment that we've been fucking watching for a very long time.
Like the mice in
that's exactly what it is.
It's
almost like we've got shown there's all different species of different alien things. We gave them our physical form, they've been brought here for them to be trained, give them this information, see how far they go with it and see what they do and try and convert them to positive, and their time is up. So basically, we're not the lab rats here. They're the ones that are being looked after. Yeah, and they've fucking ran out of fucking time because there's only so many time within that clock, there's a sequence till time runs out. And they've had so many times it's been the domes and the university have been stripped off and put back, to give more and more time, but time is now finished. They're the fucking experiment, not us.
Yeah. Wow.
That empowers us.
Have you seen the time? We're up to 3 hours and 50 minutes.
Right.
Bloody hell.
Okay. We'll talk.
Sorry.
Right.
It's so easy, isn't it?
So next week it's demanifestation.
Yeah.
A whole brand new thing.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So then we can use the permutations of the manifestation we've been doing to give them a chance to demanifest the motherfuckers. Give us a week to really nail the bastards. Right. Cool.
Does everyone want to stay on just for a quick chat afterwards?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Love. Bye.
Lots of love.
Thanks, Sky.
Thanks.
Bye.